I got the conclusion I needed at the table. I'll say that. That is why I have been reluctant to write.
That's fair.
Is I got the satisfying end I needed.
That's very fair.
Okay, we are live.
Hello.
Officially.
Hello. Welcome
Howdy doody.
to FlavorText, New Dawn University. You were going to say something, Dax?
Just mentioning stream delay, which is why it didn't show the screen of us.
Yep.
But
There we are.
There we are.
Yeah, hello. Welcome to New Dawn University FlavorText session 5 or 6 or something like that. I'm not keeping track anymore. I'm just keeping track of the fun we're having and the hero points I'm giving out recklessly. And, yeah, it's 3 players start the session with 2. 10 cents each.
I'm gonna start with 2.
Not all.
Dax has 2.
there were 2 coins on my paper.
I was told to give Dax another one.
Oh.
He brought the death brownies.
But Dax argued that he didn't want one for the
And
death
then
brownies.
one additional one was left on my...
A tax.
So-
A levy.
A levy. A penny for your thoughts. You gave me your opinion, so this is mine.
That's a nickel. I get 5 bucks.
Why do you think I kept him talking about ships? So, welcome back, newcomers. Hello for the first time. Yeah, that probably sounded weird. Welcome back, comma. Newcomers, hello for the first time. To our Mutants and Masterminds 3rd edition campaign. We are following a group of illustrious heroes, wannabe heroes, as they make their way through the world's most prestigious academy, New Dawn University. 3-year course in lieu of a 4-year high school. It is a conservatory education, and highlights of their adventures so far: they've been kidnapped. The school has been infiltrated twice already. They nearly killed one of their classmates. They got shot at, and they have a cooking club. So those are the only highlights. Those are the only
That's
ones.
it. There's nothing else.
We role played out day by day for the first couple of days, but we are time skipping a week forward now, as they're on day 8 or 9 of their education, and they've just had this is the middle of their 2nd week. Or let's be more fun and for timing's sake say that their first week started in the middle of the week, so this is the beginning of a new week.
Monday.
Cool. This is a Monday, and the weekend was rather tense for all of our hero aspirants. Each and every one of you has had your private conversation with Rex and Terrence and wondered who you could bring in for your vigilante mission to track down V Arcade. And you've had time to think about that. You've all done the homework that I assigned last session to some degree. It was optional.
I do have those answers if you want them.
It was optional. It is optional for you to world build if you would like.
Do you want them?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that side of the table did it.
Let me rephrase. These questions and homework are presented as opportunities and me inviting you to ask about specific things in the world so I can drop some knowledge. Now, if you want to answer them from your character's perspective, that is perfectly okay, but the meta purpose is for you to reach out to NPCs in the world and learn about the world. And they are optional. I will not force the flavor text on anyone.
And we can say, I did that thing without having to do that thing.
At the table.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Because I was caught between it's another thing to do, but in character I do it.
No, you can literally say, I do the homework, and you do the homework. You all got into a prestigious academy. I don't doubt your work ethic, except for Isaac, but I understand his.
Damn.
Shady.
Not at all. Honest to his character. On one of his test answers, it was I'm not good at homework, so I hope there's practical exams for everything.
That was before I slept at night.
Yep, but now you get sleep. For the first time in a long time.
So I'm 1 for 1 on homework.
Yep.
He's 1 for 1. That's me whenever I do school. I'm I did an assignment. They're
Yeah.
what about the other 4? And I'm what?
But we're picking up,
I
jumping
did
into a new week. As you guys have all had a weekend to yourselves, what have you been up to this weekend? We'll start with we can roll initiative if we want. First roll of the night, get it out of the way.
Sure.
Add your agility score.
17.
21.
18. No, 19.
5.
And then I'll roll for all the NPCs. See what they've been up to this weekend. No, so 21 was up top.
Rin has been doing a whole lot
Of squats.
Yes, tons and tons of squats, but also a whole lot of food tour. She's basically going through the city and she's finding places that she does like, places that she doesn't like but will still eat at because they have good deals, places that she does like that do have good deals, and like all of this. And pretty much anytime she goes to one, she texts a specific individual. Sometimes Armoire, sometimes Allie, sometimes Nico. And pretty much there's a number of people that she will send a singular text to and be like, you, me, eating here, challenge, accept or die. Followed by like a funny little Japanese kanji that no one fucking understands because she's the only person who speaks Japanese.
Out of that squad, yes.
Yeah, so then they're always like, oh my god, I have to go there or I'll die. And then they get there and she's like, hey, let's eat. And they're like, what?
Well,
happening?
just as a fun bit of flavor, Miko specifically never shows up because they're like, I mean, parts of me die every day anyways.
And then Ren sends back pretty much a gif that's like, that's fair! But-
No, nothing new there.
But 100% free time is spent exercising, doing a food tour.
Sure. Who's up next?
I think Allie was. She would probably join Rin on part of the food tour.
Yeah, only part.
And then be like, okay, I can't do this.
And Ren like, you're weak, I'm texting someone else.
It's like, yes, but ranking system. It's like a 5-star ranking system based on high criteria. And then I think that once she had her homework done, she'd probably try to fly along some of like the hiking trails
Sure.
and just do.
There's a single one around the island.
She would do that loop, and if there was like a good spot with a panoramic view, sit herself down and probably draw for a while.
Okay. The lake surrounding the island is pretty consistently clear water. It is filtered on the regular, especially given that you have heroes who can do stuff like that. So why not? And the city is a lot about the presentation. A lot of this campaign is about presentation. And so pretty much any side except for the eastern sort of coves, you can get a pretty panoramic view because on the eastern cove you have the single train rail, and I'm talking like old school chug train, not light rail, but the one train in and out of the city. It's about a 2-hour like ride to the next stop. That comes in from the east. So that is the only one with an interrupted panorama. Otherwise, the lake is out far enough in any direction that you can still see coast of where the rest of the mainland is, but from here, it's a ways off that you can ignore it.
Cool. So she'd probably draw skylines and try to do like this leaf very carefully.
For sure.
Just expand her own artistic abilities so she can put her favorite ones on her wings.
For sure. We're going to hop over to Isaac.
First of all, if we are allowed to do like outside trading stuff during the weekends, to
If
try
you're
to,
on campus, for sure.
to find other like classmates who are looking to expand their horizons, and using that to bond with other classmates, and then doing volunteer work to try to build own reputation within the city.
Mm-hmm. Cool. The volunteer work, you find it absolutely has to be without your powers active, as is regulation. But it's not like you're physically unfit. You are capable, and people might not notice if you use your powers temporarily to like get a little extra height or lift behind something, and you sneak it in here. They're not maliciously, but you're like, it's not harming anyone, so why not?
The other thing is that it's not something I turn on and turn off.
Yeah.
I just have to pick an axis.
Yeah,
That's
it's
neutral
always
state.
active. Yeah. So you get away with some stuff. But you do some volunteer work, and I think that... I think that Fia's gonna help you with that. Yeah, Fia's gonna help you with some volunteer work. She's surprisingly strong for her size. And there's a moment that I'll just say, because Rin mentioned construction volunteer work in the past. There's a moment where you're helping to just move some heavy objects, and as one of them would come crashing down, Fia's horns sort of catch it and fling it to the side. Just a little support level increase to D. And to our resident bully.
Who's she bullying this weekend?
Who's the target?
Robin is actually probably working ahead in the syllabus to try to get homework done because she's anticipating that we will probably have to spend school nights doing what we need to do for the VR-cade stuff and doesn't want to have to worry about schoolwork in addition.
Sure. If I ever ask you to roll for a class, you have a circumstantial bonus for the first one.
Yay!
Cool. And I think she's actually gonna see about like taking a martial art, be it like I think probably jujitsu.
Okay, cool. So now you have established the basis for when you do get PowerPoints on places you can justifiably spend them. We're not doing a lick of that at the table.
No,
Yay.
Just clarifying that.
Yep.
And that ends our weekend activities. You go looking for opportunities for jujitsu, and there are self-defense classes all throughout, as this is a prestigious hero city. It was, like I said, once upon a time, sort of a financial city. It was hero headquarters and agencies, and it was a lot of like bureaus and banks, and it became a residential living space. And with the talk of obviously New Dawn New Dawn was talked about for years, and with it, the discussion of it in the works, it is perfectly believable that martial arts and self-defense academies popped up to be like, prepare yourself for New Dawn, like from a young age, just get out there, go punch and do kata and stuff, and get ready for New Dawn. That's absolutely believable. So yeah, jujitsu is easy to find.
Cool.
Did you ask around the class or just go outside?
Ooh.
She would have seen what resources the school had available before going outside, because arguably the school's resources are of a guaranteed level of quality.
Okay. So you said ask in the school before outside resources? I think Isaac can guide you somewhere.
Well, the thing is I was asking if she's asking other students, but she's not.
She said
That's-
resources.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's not
Okay.
like the rumor would start.
No.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
there'd be no reason to jump in on that.
Cool. And that brings us to Monday, and our regular class schedule. Homeroom with Kara is very simple. She explains that you're back on normal curriculum, apologizes for any upset that may have happened due to recent events and the way they sort of kind of jerry-rigged a lesson together. They recognize their failings, and they promise a higher standard of education.
Well, that's good.
Damn. It brings us through to General Ed, where we have our 1, 2, 3 of Boris, followed by Derek, followed by Boris. I just said Megaphone's name. Whoops.
Who?
Yeah, Megaphone. And then we've got How to Be a Hero with Solar Flare. It's very simple today. It is absolutely back on the philosophical quandary through exploration of art track that he intended. And despite it seeming nonsensical the first week, like what he's saying kind of makes sense about identity and how it's wrapped up in our presentation of self, and our expression of self is intrinsically then wrapped up in our identity, because that is an expression of self. And it's circular babble today, because that's what the Dungeon Master came up with today, is circular babble.
Cool.
But he's onto something. And then we move to psychology. At least we would.
Oh.
But the PA system, bong, bong.
Early lunch.
Hello, everybody. This is Megaphone speaking. Today we will be having an early lunch for at least Class 1A and B. There will be a couple of changes in your schedule today, as we will be going on a field trip later on.
Ooh, field trip.
So, enjoy your lunch,
Did you send out permission slips?
and,
That's signed over at the beginning of the year.
yep. That's what it boils down to. As you're like, they didn't send out permission slips. No, they asked for them in the beginning of the year. They can't tell parents where you're going. That's a danger.
We've been sold to the school. This is where we are now.
Yeah, it's a live-in situation. You do it.
We still get PE though, right? We're gonna bring us back in time for PE, right?
Maybe they'll let you run home.
Combat.
And so this is where we're jumping to lunch almost kind of right away. There's a couple activities at lunch that I would like to go through, in addition to, getting food.
Console.
Rin, this is the first time at your table. You've texted Miko before, because Armoire gave you their number, but you've never met them. So Miko comes up. Miko is this, average-sized, kind of thinner, goth. Just
Yes.
black hair covering their face. You can see one eye anime style through their hair, but
Yes.
otherwise, like, and it's, of course, it's a black eye. Not a black eye, but a black eye. With, like, faint grays making out the actual color of the iris. They're wearing, like, a mesh shirt and then a black shirt on top of that, ripped jeans, very 2000s punk. And from their back, you have mushrooms, tendrils, plant fibers, like all sorts of different flora and mycenids just growing. And they look at you, and they take a hand, like, out of their pocket. You watch as plant fibers kind of rip off their wrist, and they're like, "Hey, Miko, are you Rin?
Rin, good to meet you.
Good to meet you too."
Vigorous handshaking.
It's a limp noodle on the other side.
Okay.
Slosh,
Armar
slosh,
told me
slosh,
all
slosh,
about you.
slosh.
I heard you can pack it down.
Yep. I kind of have to.
Same. Can I challenge you to an eating contest?
I mean, what's the challenge?
Whoever eats fastest.
Fastest? No, I don't stop. I can't. Are you challenging me or the living ecosystem on my back? Because neither of us stop.
And then
One
Rin-
feeds the other.
And then Rin kind of like saddles on over to Armar and is like, "Psst,
Yes.
is that cheating?
Is what cheating?
That's a whole lot of mouths to feed. Is that cheating?"
Is that cheating?
And then Rin kind of ponders the philosophical quandary of, she actually loses today's eating contest because she's so hung up in like, is it cheating to have to eat for multiple organisms at once? I suppose. And like mid drumstick of like a chicken wing, she's like, well, I guess maybe if perhaps, cause
And then your thought process is interrupted as you watch, like, a root poke through the mesh shirt, and without a second beat, Miko just draws, like, some gardening, like, proper sheer size scissors and just snaps it.
not cheating.
As Miko's existence is nothing but feeding the hive. And then
It's very intense.
Maintaining the flock.
1 through 8, that's 2, 1 through 7, yeah, I'm just rolling. Okay, I rolled a 2, so
Arbitrary
Allie.
roll.
Yep, Allie. You are getting your lunch, and you're kind of weirded out by Miko. You don't... There's just something unnerving about someone who's willing to, like, remove parts of themselves so casually. And you sit away from Rin at this lunch.
Okay. She's got her friends. I gotta give her space.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Don't want to be clingy.
you sit at kind of an available table, and there's 2 students sitting here. One of them you recognize. This is Ares. I don't have to talk about Ares. We know who he is. And the other one, it's this very, like, fair blonde girl who she's sitting there with her fingers folded, very crossed in front of her, without any food, but appreciating the company around her. Green eyes, and she kind of twitches every now and then, just a little twitch, and not just her hands, but like her entire body.
How's her heartbeat?
Like,
Does she sound okay?
Inconsistent.
She's got a heart murmur.
Yeah.
Arrhythmia.
Joke's on you, we're playing Katawa Shoujo. That's a joke no one here will understand.
I think you explained it when
Cool.
last time we were
Cool.
traveling
Somewhere.
to one of the charity things.
Yeah, it's a visual novel with, the main character has arrhythmia. That's the joke.
Oh, cool.
That's the reference.
I wouldn't call it a joke.
Oof.
Not saying quality, just
Is the seat open?
Who are you asking?
Just sort of generically both of them.
She's asking between them.
Ares looks up, and as he goes to open his mouth, the girl speaks. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. 1A?
Yes.
I'm afraid we
I'm
haven't
out.
met. Oh, Kyrie. And her hand phases through yours as she goes to shake it.
I'd say that's cool, but you've probably heard that a lot of times, and it's probably overdone.
And your wings are cool. I'm sure you've heard that a lot of times, and that's probably overdone.
Less times than you'd think, but thank you.
Well, your wings are cool. 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 Is that enough times yet?
I'm good, thanks.
Mm-hmm. I was just talking with Aries here about how wonderful your class is. And Aries like blushes. And he's like, yep. There's a lot of cool people in our class. And she's like, Aries was mentioning that he's jealous of you.
He's open about it.
Why?
And he's like,
But you have feathers!
and I lost to you.
There were lots of tests.
Yep.
You also got sideswiped by Robin,
Yeah.
and she doesn't...
Play nice? No.
Yes, that's the
Would
good
Would
way
you
to
call
put
what
it.
you did playing nice?
No, I wouldn't.
No, you won. That's the point. I've made things, and before he can say the word awkward, Kyrie jumps in. Awkward, yes, very. So I think what Aries is trying to say is you shouldn't be ashamed of yourself.
Rin, put your fucking hand down.
From across the cafeteria.
You feel a finger pointing at you.
I mean, I'll give you the advice I always get, because things just go right through me, but get over it.
In one ear,
That
out
shame?
the other.
Get over it. Look where you are. You're better than shame. If they didn't think that power was worth heroes, then you wouldn't be in the school for heroes, dear.
Or,
Nope.
I figure out how to control it so I don't need to use it.
Ooh. She
Another thing's
she
perhaps.
sits up. That's a yikes from me, and makes her way away from the table.
Oh.
Well, now I put my foot in my mouth.
And Aries is like,
At least you have a foot.
at least you have a foot. Yep. And
Claws, though.
yep.
You have feathers. I've wanted, like, actual, like, feathered wings all of my life.
You could like paint feathers on them.
I tried that. My mother wouldn't let me.
Your mom's not here, is she?
I've got all the other projects I'm working on now.
Okay, you could tape feathers on them.
Tried that too. They fell off.
Feather camouflage. Feather camo.
Featherflash.
I could get tarred and feathered and then I'd be covered in feathers.
Have someone take a picture of feathers and 3D model some for you. These are things you want, right? I'm helping. How's the food? And then goes to eating.
But why would you be jealous of me?
You beat me.
And there were at least 2 other tests. You made it here too.
Yeah, and
So weren't you listening? If that's the point, then you also made it. That means that clearly we all have the same amount of something, whatever it is. So on at least some level, you're just as good.
it's not a matter of good. You beat me.
Do you want to do a different contest? Though
You were
can
the
beat me?
first person who beat me.
Oh.
Ever.
Oh.
It is confusing. This whole school is confusing. I keep losing here. Yeah, me too.
I think at some point we all have to lose. Because if we don't know what it's like to be the victims we're trying to save. Who always lose.
Solar
You
Flare
can't
would
do
like
anything.
that.
Probably.
That's a very Solar Flare lesson. I heard he showed you like some favor in the interviews. It makes sense.
small and afraid, and he does.
He's good at
develop
that.
for
He's good
yeah,
with.
He's good
yeah,
at that.
Yeah, that's why he's in that class, and the world's greatest sidekick. I mean, like Lunar Eclipse does all this stuff, and Solar Flare's just there, kind of taking care of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I guess, and he probably has said it. That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, but like if I've got feathers, at least you've got like super hearing and hemomancy. Like those are so advantageous and cool. Okay? Do you know how uncomfortable feathers are? I molt.
Yeah, Mom always did complain about that part.
Yeah. Your mom flies?
Yes.
Cool.
She's got almost angelic wings. My brother's got the angel wings, but Mom was a Victoria's Secret
Your
angel.
brother has angel wings? Is he... He is then, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. That sucks.
Wait, what?
Your brother.
No, he's alive. He just hit, like, his wings are just, like...
No, I mistook him for another prominent villain with angel wings.
I don't think he is. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him on some levels, but I don't think he is.
Okay, yeah. Well, it sucks if he is, and if he isn't, then I should just keep my feet in my mouth.
But you don't have feet, so you can't.
Got me. He looks down to his empty plate of food.
Not to hide behind now, bird boy.
What about your family, if I can ask, if that's not too invasive? I'm sorry if it is.
What about them?
Are they also raptors? Do you share any similarities besides like a family nose or something?
It's called a beak.
I don't know.
I don't have a beak though. That's the joke.
Yes,
He wiggles his nose with his talons. Ow.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You gave yourself great piercings that way.
Yeah, they're not aerodynamic, and if they get caught on something while I'm flying, then I could rip parts of my face off. So I'd rather not.
Same. That's why I don't have any.
Yeah. I figured. Hey, Z-Axis Club.
I'm not in that.
What?
I like flying by myself.
We have our first meeting tonight, and you're not... Lame. Are you doing any clubs?
No, because I'm terrified of people.
Okay, but if you were going to do a club, which one would it be?
Not mixed martial arts, because I'd probably get flattened.
Okay.
I don't really know. I only know of 3. Z-axis,
Do you,
martial arts, and cooking.
if you could start a club, what would it be? Also, to answer your question, like, my dad's a hawk, and my mom...
Ooh.
Yeah, my mom, she's not actually super.
That sounds very calming, actually.
Yeah, but Dad always like wanted me to be super good at everything, so I was, and then I wasn't. You know?
Just because you were always better than the people you were with at doing what you do doesn't mean that suddenly you're worse because you're with people who are just as good.
Yeah, I'm realizing that.
Good.
But I'll be honest, I think I have a lot of therapy to go to.
Same!
Yep.
Rin probably does too.
Anyways,
I think we all
sidebar. Back to the
Wow.
conversation. What sort of club would you like if someone were gonna go start one immediately after lunch, but before we went on our field trip? Like, what sort of club would intrigue you?
do. Probably drawing classes.
Hey, look, my tray's empty. I gotta go.
Okay.
He gets up, like, stands on the table, stands on the bench, actually stands on the table, grabs his plate in, like, one of his talons, flies to the, like, disposing area. The dispensary. Puff, puff, pass,
this is
baby.
a very liberal school.
Damn, it's been 100 years. So, like,
It's been
Have you
100
been to
years,
Solar
guys.
Flares class?
I did say it was like Woodstock. No, he drops the tray off and just disappears.
man, I wonder where he's going.
What a good boy.
Could someone hand me a pencil? All of my pencils are in my backpack, and I don't know where my backpack is or want to get it. Really.
So Allie resumes eating and contemplates the various conversations she's just had.
Yep. Let me make a note of that.
Ren's gonna try and eat some plants off of Miko if she gets permission.
Yeah, he points out which ones are edible, and which ones will kill you.
Like, how kill?
Dead.
How quickly?
Yeah, how quickly?
Well, this one I'm keeping because it's a rare growth, and I don't really control what grows, so I make sure to keep good track of the ones.
Do
that
you
I have.
garden them?
I do.
Which one will kill me the least quickly?
I mean, this is a portobello mushroom.
No, it's better. Which one will kill me the least quickly?
I'm not gonna poison a classmate.
You
but I've
can't
just-
poison me. I want to know what it tastes like. The ones that poison you faster, though, typically do not agree with my stomach.
Okay. So this, and he like pushes his arm into the foliage on his back.
Okay.
This is a root that people. Yep. Okay.
Go on. Go on.
It tastes
Give me the
like-
tasting notes.
It's. I've never tasted it.
Give me the death notes.
It's supposed to cause your body to go into like systemic shock after about 8 minutes after ingestion. That's how long it takes to get into the bloodstream through the digestive process in the stomach. And usually the only antidote, and he reveals that he has a belt of antidotes.
Nice.
Is this thing, and it's supposed to like release muscle function so that it no longer becomes a conscious act, and instead your body can basically comatose itself until the poison's out. So
That's really cool.
yeah,
And then 8 minutes later, Rin is fine.
cool. So we're gonna hop back over this way. That was a fun little side, but I want to keep moving
Yes.
around the table. Robin or Isaac?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Nothing is happening to us.
Well, I mean, I have things for both of you. It's just a matter of who.
Yeah.
Who do we want to start with?
You.
Oh, okay.
For Isaac, I wrote figure out what Dax wants to do, because you motivate a lot of your actions, and I like that, and I want to encourage that.
I want to chill with Fia because
Okay.
got to work with her over the
Yeah.
weekend. And
Yeah, that was gonna be my go-to if you didn't have one. Was okay. So you do lunch with Fia, and she is wearing like a very tastefully sequined jacket on top of her shirt today. It's not like baby's first, glitter bomb. Like she knows what she's about, and she sits down and puts her tray down. It's vegetarian, and she nods as you approach. Hello.
hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Any ideas what the field trip's going to be about?
I have no idea. I hope it's fun and productive and that we get to learn a lot.
Do you think we still get PE?
I have a feeling that there's a good chance that any classes we're missed are going to be covered in the field trip.
Okay. Can I sit down?
Yes, please do. Can you sit down? I know you.
Yeah. I have to pick which axis to sit down in, which is why if you sit on the ceiling, then it keeps a seat open.
That's
in the
so
front row
cool.
for
Yeah.
other people to sit
Yeah,
down.
I've noticed you do that.
Fit
That's
more
really
people
cool.
Closer up. I just we worked together on the weekend. I wanted to just
Yeah. You're okay? None of the debris got to you?
we're fine. Sleep it off.
Yeah.
Cough off some asbestos.
Mesothelioma!
This far into the future?
What do you think I rolled for?
You can have a claim.
So, if you don't mind me, well, first of all, thanks for coming out this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for the invite.
Yeah. I was just kind of curious, like, what do you see as the type of hero that you want to be when we graduate and stuff?
So, like popular heroes, like not like top 5 heroes, but like really well liked heroes, like role model kind of heroes. One of those, I think. I don't care about fame, but I do want to be visible so that I can reach as many people as possible with the positive image I'm trying to go for.
Same though.
Yeah.
Do you have a plan of how you're gonna do it?
I'm gonna be really strong.
It's a a good start.
I'll be really strong and really kind, and I won't freeze up when the cameras are on me. I'm a little camera shy right now.
You want help working on that?
I mean, yes, but admittedly, I don't. I think we're gonna learn that stuff with solar flare eventually.
Okay. I'm just of the opinion that, yeah, we're gonna learn it eventually, but why wait?
I mean, like, you're already heading like 1 million extracurriculars already.
How did she know?
You send group texts to all of us.
Well, I mean the
You also participated with her in at least 4.
the specifically attending more than one club.
Oh, no, she doesn't know that.
Okay. Because that's what I thought you meant.
No.
Well, you said about being visible. That's how you get visible. You stay
You
active.
make a lot of noise, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's the other thing. I'm not good with a lot of noise. I'm still trying to... I know what I want to be, but I understand the obstacles in my way are mostly my own. So...
The thing is, you're doing great.
I am. I'm not saying I'm not. I just know where I am in my journey.
Mm-hmm. To be a role model, you don't have to talk really well. You don't have to shine in front of the cameras. You just have to do the right thing as many times as possible. People will see what you're doing, and what you're doing is far more important than what you're saying. So I think you're doing great.
Because of my specific case, I'm going to disagree with you on that, but I think your heart is in the right place, Isaac.
What is your specific case, if you don't mind me
Visibility.
asking? Why are you less visible than anyone else?
Because I'm a minority.
Aren't we all? What type of minority do you think you are?
I mean... And she points at her horns.
So?
And shrugs and goes quiet. I'm still trying to work on being confident about that. I mean, I'm obviously confident enough. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, we don't have a good role model yet.
Soon.
Yeah, soon. I know, it's only 3 years before then, right?
I mean,
That's when we graduate.
if you wait before graduation.
We'll have opportunities. You're not wrong.
We're already. We're out in the community.
Yeah,
So you're already being a good role model for people.
yeah.
You're only going to get more people following you then.
Yeah. And, like, there's a little bit of a nervous sweat breaking out on her face.
So I think you're doing great.
Thanks. Yep. and she goes to eating.
They're so wholesome.
Yeah, they're wholesome people. And then we're moving to Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Jareth is sitting next to you, but that's not the exciting part today. As you two sit down, like you're sort of scanning the room for a quick second, judging up the other tables as people do. You're like, okay,
As is
goths,
our
nerds,
habit.
stoners, idiots, punks.
Yeah.
Rin is
More.
eating another student today.
You're like, okay, sure, Rin, that's healthy and sanitary and not gross.
Mm-hmm.
And like as you go back to your food, like Ramona's sitting across from you at the table. Hi.
Hey. How are you doing?
Good. You?
Going along, trying to get ahead of the coursework.
That's cool. You said you wanted to like talk more.
I did. I got the impression that you did not.
I was watching a documentary. So I asked if you wanted to watch the documentary with me, and you left. So I got the impression that you didn't. But I was talking with my brother, and he said that it doesn't matter what other people do, it matters what you do about other people, and so this is me reaching out to you.
Oh.
So hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Nutritionally fulfilled.
Did you not make your food tasty?
No,
I mean-
like it's all good.
Yeah?
So how is your brother older or younger or
He's older.
by a lot or
3 years.
okay.
Yeah, he's about at the point where he'd graduate. I think a little longer.
Yeah. He's in a 4-year program, or?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys get along? Or?
Really well. He's very protective of me. So I talk to him about a lot. He's kind of my anchor.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not good at making friends, but I want to make the effort. So if you can take initiative, then you're welcome to. But otherwise, I'll stumble my way forward.
And I would like to try to see if Jareth is acting weird around Ramona.
Okay. Go ahead and make me... I wrote all these skills down on purpose. Where did I put them? Make me...
Craft check.
Insight.
Insight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've got my skills.
Maybe a ranged combat.
Make me a vehicle
19?
check to determine how well you move the plot. Can I give myself a hero point? Done. 19.
Yeah.
Like he raised an eyebrow when she sat down, but that was it.
Okay. So not her. Got it. What?
Just looking for the murderer.
Yes.
Who done it?
Also, hi, Jareth. And he's like, hey.
So
Do you also want to be friends, Jareth? I mean, you're like the second person to ask, so sure. Yup. Yup.
There's so many awesome people in our class.
Yeah, heroes.
They're so
Heroes.
sweet.
All in their different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So Ramona, what do you think of Solar Flare's whole thing?
What, like the way he teaches?
Yeah.
I think it's illuminating.
I love you, Ramona.
Love you, Bear Mask.
I mean, I really do think that it's a unique approach, but I mean, if the whole point of New Dawn is to instill reform in the way Hero Society educates and views its youngest, then isn't an innovative approach what we need?
I mean, arguably it is innovative.
I mean, it's effective too.
I feel like I've yet to really see that.
Well, I mean, like, you don't really pay attention in his class.
I've never been much of an art student.
I mean, it's not about the art he's making. It's about the message he's getting across through the art.
But we have to make the art too. We have to follow along and do the steps, and I'm not.
Well, I
good
mean,
at the steps.
he says that the end result isn't what matters, it's how you got there.
Yeah, but you still want to get a good grade.
The grade isn't about the technical proficiency in the class. The grade is about the commitment and the willingness to learn. You come off as such a smart kid. Like, you should know that.
I mean, maybe it's just not my area of expertise yet.
That's a good way to look at it. I think we've all got strengths and weaknesses.
I have no idea what my hero name is supposed to be.
Yet.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh,
I know Isaac was going around like asking everybody.
I haven't really thought about it a lot. Not until I have good reign over my powers will I give it an identity or a name.
You seem to have good control over it.
Oh, I can't control any of it yet. It's all just what it is.
Huh.
Yeah. The more attention is on me, the more I glow, and there's always that shadow.
So at present you just have to consciously determine how many eyes are on you.
I don't consciously determine it. I consciously try and change it.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Well, then you are very effective at using that.
Sure.
You basically blocked off an entire floor of the building to people who could not see in the pitch black, which is pretty much everybody. So.
Yeah, I'm treating my powers right now as just a big moving concealment, and I will see where it goes.
Big area sphere concealment.
Roughly 30 feet.
wonder
yeah,
where we're going.
I don't know. I wonder if it's like somewhere practical or somewhere educational. Or, I mean, both, hopefully.
I mean, both hopefully, given that we have P in the second half
Jareth
of
is like,
class.
I just want to punch something. Yeah, you're good at that, Jareth. Mm-hmm. You're good at punching things. Yep. And he just looks up and he goes, but you said we all had our strengths and weaknesses, right? She's like, yeah, so I'm good at punching things. That's not what I meant. It's like, uh-huh.
The tension is palpable.
Yep. But yeah, I don't think Rita likes you for whatever reason, but like you can always reach out to me, Robin. Like, I'll invite you in. It's my room too.
Thanks. I don't know if you get along with Rin yet.
I think I don't really know Rin well. I mean, we go to the same classes, but like
Yeah.
that's like it.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked. We did. It was nice to have another person I could identify with culturally here, especially in my class. I wasn't sure with a tight class size how many, I'd get to see. But I haven't had more than like the one conversation with her yet. I like her. I don't dislike anyone. I mean, I get weird vibes from like, I don't know. No, I don't. Not from our class anyways.
I haven't had very many run-ins with people outside of our class.
I mean,
Beyond,
predictable is really weird. And she points across the room and says, just followed by the eyes going wide and him like looking up and taking a step to the left is like a tile.
Yeah. Mostly it's just loud.
Yeah.
He's also followed by the weirdest misfortunes.
That's passive.
See, that's actually his power, is he just causes weird stuff to happen.
Can't see
By
the future, he's just aware of the misluck.
Looking into the future changes it and determines it.
But yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
My goodness.
I mean, I guess there's theoretically like anything in the city that we could go do.
You want to go do something in the city another time? Like after class? After
Yeah.
the field trip? Okay. What do you like to do?
What do you like to do? You suggested it.
No, you did. You literally said we could always do something out in the city.
Okay. I'm gonna briefly look at my map of the city.
Do you have a map?
Yeah. I have the 4 districts.
Okay,
Robin-
that's what you mean.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, Robin herself just pulls out a map.
Oh,
spreads it on the table.
good.
Uh-huh.
This is a tourist trap, tourist trap, tourist trap. Nope, nope, nope.
Have you been to the Daylight District a lot? Yet?
I mean, You should like suggest a specific thing, I think.
Well, no, I know, but like just in general in your explorations of the city, have you been there a lot?
Like I said,
Okay.
kind of.
It might be like, or actually, do you wanna go to the science museum? They usually have like rotating exhibits, and they tend to be like surprisingly cool.
I can't go to visual art displays.
Oh.
I ruin them for everyone. Yeah, sorry.
That's
You don't have to apologize for saying it. It's not something you've had to live with.
that's fair.
We know this really nice VR-cade that we could take to.
Yeah, that's why I usually just stay in.
Yeah.
I don't want to make things weird for other people.
I mean, we could pick like a really bad old movie and watch that together.
Okay.
On like your laptop, or I think,
Okay.
or something like that. We could just like talk through it and laugh at it being bad.
Yeah. Have you heard of this like old like early 2000s like Hallmark style movie called Be the Light?
Dork. Fucking dork. No, I haven't.
Let's watch that and laugh at how bad the actors are.
Okay. Sure. Sounds fun.
You're the pastor's son is terrible.
You are both aware this is the feature I shot last year.
Oh, that was?
Yeah.
Okay. Nope. I did not know the title of it. I knew something was coming.
Yeah, no, it's the feature I shot last year. It's due to release probably like Easter next year or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had to dig at that just once.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
It's just me being cheeky.
it's
maybe.
like when John Oliver takes a dig at AT&T.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making
Corporate daddy.
I'm making a
Business daddy.
cheeky joke about myself. So you guys have your after school plans, and that's where we're gonna end that because that's starting to drag a little.
Yeah.
And then you guys make your way theoretically to psychology, but you're all kind of stopped outside the cafeteria. Like there's Virgil waiting out there, and he's dressed very differently than normal. This isn't a suit that he's wearing. He's like actually no, he's actually in like what appears to be some semblance of a costume. He's got like imagine like a very obviously spandex costume.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly flattering, but he's not got a lot to flatter. It's more so that it looks like the bare minimum practical and nothing else. It is like practical for if he needed to be in a situation that he shouldn't be in. And attached on either hip are like 2 sets of stun batons. He's got like a little vest on top with like a couple of different canisters of sprays. He's like, "Hello, students. We're going to jail."
Ooh.
Yep. Yeah, we've been talking about the psychology of villains for a while now. And I wanted to give you an example of how do I say this? I wanted you to be comfortable looking at the worst. Because that's what you're going to be going against. Realistically, solar flare, lunar eclipse, their activity is less and less. There's going to be a void soon, that's where you all come in. But we're not the only ones who are aware of that. Each and every one of those villains is aware of it. Each and every villain on the streets is aware of it. Everyone knows that lunar eclipse has been less frequent. And that we have a new batch of heroes on the way. And they're gonna try and get the going while the going's good. So, today we will be going... Was that a package here?
May have been. I will go to the looks.
Because yours... Did it come in yet, Ilona?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Virgil, continue.
Yeah, one sec. I'm just scrolling up in my notes. Yep, package.
Opportunity lost. He should have had a cape and cowl.
Virtual cowl.
Hmm.
So today we're going to D Terminal Block. You may alternatively know it as the world's most secure prison facility. It's gonna take us about an hour and a half to get there. Please behave yourselves on the train. And we will have an escort. And yes.
Oh, I'm not raising my hand.
Oh, very well. The buses will be at the front of the school, and we will not leave until everyone's there, and if for whatever reason you're not present, we will make sure you come. This is part of your curriculum. It is not an optional course. See you in 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Robin immediately turns to Jareth. We're gonna meet him.
I don't know if we're gonna meet him. That seems like a really bold thing for them to do.
We were studying him the first week, and it's Virgil that's taking us. We're gonna go meet him.
I mean, that seems like a lot.
He said the worst.
Yeah, DD turn block. Death's door. Like, everyone there's on death row.
I know.
The mesmerist isn't on death row. I mean, maybe he's there. I don't know. We might not have been told the full story.
Probably weren't.
This feels dangerous. This feels stupid.
I don't know about stupid, dangerous, definitely.
But hey, Virgil has pepper spray, so we're safe.
Right? Pepper spray and stun guns.
Yep. If only we had a super-powered principal helping us.
Gosh, can't imagine.
Yeah. Anyways. See you there.
See you there.
Yep. Anyone else have any pre-train ride conversation?
Smoothies for the road!
Yep. You come back in and Nutricia looks at you and she's like, that's funny. That wasn't what I saw a second ago. And she just, like, procures another couple smoothies.
Yes.
She's got a backpack she's filling.
Yes.
A second backpack.
A belt of smoothies.
Yeah, you have a belt of smoothies. Anyone else?
Want to find Ryan?
Yeah, easy enough. You, I mean, not easy enough, but you look, and when you're consciously looking at the name, it's almost like you do know exactly where he is.
Nice.
He's at school.
No, it's like when you're not looking at him, he doesn't. But when you're looking at a reminder of him, you can pinpoint him.
Cool.
Yeah.
As
this-
new powers develop.
as literally that. And not you, new powers, but him. And you find him just sort of like cleaning his tray into the little trash can.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how you doing, Isaac?
I'm doing great. What do you think? Thoughts about this going to jail thing?
Oh, I mean, like, I think I'm gonna be safe no matter what, but wow.
Yeah. You're probably gonna be the one that's the safest.
Yeah. So I don't feel fear for myself, but I'm worried about everyone else. But I'm also curious, because I really like Solar Flare's class. And I really like, Virgil's class too, so like, he has a lot to say.
Mm-hmm. And if we're gonna get to know at least the enemy, it's good to get in their heads.
Yeah, I think that's the point, right? Like, I bet he's gonna interview him or something.
We'll see.
And we'll probably like watch behind super reinforced, super like quadruple layered glass or something.
Do you think they're gonna be able to see us?
No, I think that'd be very dangerous. And I don't think the school would risk that. Like, can you imagine the scandal if it, like, like the
I have no idea what you mouthed.
Bomb.
Oh. Yeah. But we're gonna be dealing with that our entire lives after this.
Yeah,
So-
but I mean, I think they want to mitigate it at least for a little bit. So, I mean, I don't even think they know. Like, our parents don't know where we're going, and they signed that. So, I just wow.
Mm-hmm. You do hit upon a point I wanted to ask you about, though.
Yeah.
If it is two-way glass, and we can see the villains and they can see us.
Oh.
I was asking if you and me wanted to stand in front in case some of the other people were getting scared.
Because they won't remember me.
Exactly. That way,
I think that's a really cool idea.
and then if things do get scary and they do get a little out of hand, if you need to, you can step behind me.
But I'm not afraid for me. They'll forget who I am.
Exactly. But if you need them to forget,
Oh, got it. yeah, that I can be a hero today.
Just today?
Well, I mean, this is the first step I think I'll take towards, like, actually feeling like a hero in my life. Because, you know, my power is very bad at that.
Your power is unique.
All of the powers, I mean, not... and he looks at, like, the 4, like, heavy lifters in the corner. I mean...
Currently bench pressing.
A good few of them, but, yeah.
The question's how you use it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he wipes the tears from his eyes. I think that's a really good idea. Thank you, Isaac.
And if you want, you can... Do you have anybody that you're sitting with on the train?
I don't know what the train's gonna be like.
Me neither.
So, we'll see.
I'll see you there.
Yeah. Anyone else?
That kid has the saddest fucking life.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I just get to play it realistically every time.
Oh.
This is one of my acting venues right
My
here.
heart.
Ah.
Ryan, you sweet baby.
Yep. One of the things I'm trying to do is any of these characters who have these tragic existences, they've come to terms with it.
Mm-hmm.
They've lived for 13 years with it. Like, every one of them, I'm trying to be like, no, this is their reality, and they're not sad about it. They just accept it.
That's how a kid does it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
the worst fucking part.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. Ooh, I love all my babies.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Aries, I guess. JK.
No.
You guys can rag on Aries and I can't?
No, you absolutely can.
No, I'm not going to. I
You're
love
always
Aries.
welcome more people ragging on Aries.
I love Aries.
Do I want to sit next to someone?
Yeah,
on
if
the
anyone has
train?
preferred seating, then you are free to acknowledge it now.
I mean, Allie is first pick, but if I get a second pick, I want Lenny on the other side.
So you guys make your way to the buses, and we'll get to this point in a sec. And Virgil's there with his equipment, and there's also this like brutish looking man. He's maybe 8.5 feet tall. Like rippling muscle, wearing a very simple like blue bomber jacket, and like very loose fitting pants, grayish in color, and he cracks. This is like, if he's large, his hands are disproportionately large. As he cracks his hands, they're maybe like about the size of your head each, and just pumps them together. He's got these red wristbands with little yellow studs around each one, and they kind of line up in between the knuckles of his fist. And he's like, he doesn't say anything. Virgil's like, this is our escort for the day. Class, meet Saltpeter. Saltpeter, meet class. And Saltpeter's like, hey!
Nice to meet you, Saltpeter.
And he hands you a pinky.
Nice to meet you too.
Peter.
Yep. So, today we're all going to DD Turtle Block. Just a primer. As head of security there, I am informing all y'all, we will be safe. You will be safe. I will be ensuring that, as well as the defensive measures that are present in the prison. Not a single person there is locked up with any access to their power, unless their power is ultimately harmless, and that is rare. I think we have maybe 1 or 2 who their power isn't what got them there, it's their doing. If I say something, you do it.
Yes, sir.
That's the most important safety rule. I'm hoping I don't have to do anything, but Virgil's let me know that things have been rowdy, so I'm gonna be prepared for it. I'm hoping it ain't, because he thinks it's important, and I think Virgil knows what he's talking about. But yeah, it's nice to meet all y'all. Go ahead and find a buddy before you get on this bus to the train, and stick with your buddy at all times. If your buddy goes missing at any point, immediately shout your lungs out. Tell one of us. Your buddy is important, and it is not your jobs to keep each other safe or responsible. That is our jobs. You are our last line of defense there. We doubt that's going to happen. And I cannot stress that enough. We doubt that's going to happen. They have not been able to do anything about their situations before. There's no reason that would change just because some students are coming. They don't even know you're coming. So, yeah, a little pinky wiggle.
If the worst does happen, what is your power so that we can work together better?
Sure. He uses his fist in the hand, twists, and you watch as his knuckles fire out like buckshot.
Okay.
and then regrow.
I fucking love him.
Okay. Long range. Really nasty short range.
Real nasty short range, long range, and I just happen to be abnormally large.
He just happens to suffer gigantism.
Yep.
I love it.
I wanted to introduce Saltpeter tonight. We've also got Kaze on short call for evacuation. He can be there in literally seconds, so. Yep. Find your buddies, board the bus. From the bus, we'll get on the train. From the train, we'll get about an hour out of town before we stop and transfer to a private escort. And, do what I say, do what we say. There will be security measures. I cannot stress that enough. Each and every one of you is going to be safe. This is, Virgil's going to be doing some interviews, and he wanted you privy to them.
Yes, sir.
So, see you there. I can't really fit in that, so I'll be seeing you at the escort.
See you soon.
Yeah. Buddies, let's assign those right now. I can use this as scratch paper. So, Rin and Allie, duh.
Rally,
PCs get first choice of who their partner is. So,
Ryan.
Jareth.
yep. And then I just have to arbitrarily assign a few more.
We have latched on as besties.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do that. Let's do
Though I
this
feel like
one.
neither of you would use the word. That's
Terrence
No.
and Rex,
childish.
obviously.
No, neither of us would use the word besties.
Mm-mm.
Not in a million years.
Who's my students? Let's do this one.
Find each other
They
more
got it in
colorable than the
ours.
rest of the students.
Dun, 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 dun.
We find
Dun,
each other
dun,
to be
dun.
equals.
Did I do them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm missing one pairing. Who am I missing?
I hate you the least.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
That's how I feel about my
Robin.
coworkers sometimes.
Kurt. I'm missing Kurt. Who's Kurt with? Who's left?
Kurt and Lenny.
No, Lenny's already been assigned.
Kurt just builds someone out of nanobots. This is my buddy.
Nah.
I made them.
Okay. All the PCs. Ryan, Jareth, Lenny, Rita, Aries, Fia, Terrence, Rex, Kurt. I'm missing one student despite having the list in front
Give
of me.
me all the names.
Rin, Allie, Isaac, Robin, Ryan, Jareth, Lenny.
Oh, slow down.
Sorry.
Ryan, Jareth, Lenny,
Rita,
Rita,
Aries,
Aries,
Fia,
Fia,
Terrence,
Terrence,
Rex,
Rex,
Kurt.
Rita?
I already said Rita.
Did you say Lenny?
Yep. Lenny and Rita.
Ramona?
Ramona, thank you.
Ah, she's the one I have right before the PC, so I always forget about her.
Oof. Oof. And
She's just in that R territory.
she's
Yeah.
Yep,
I
there's
have,
a lot of them.
I have a quartet of R's that are all right next to each
Yep.
other.
Yep. And so buddies are signed, and you guys get on the slowest train. You're used to the light rail. You're used to the high-tech future. This is an old-school train. And it slowly chugs to life as you're all kind of sitting with your safety buddies. And Virgil is just reinforcing the safety primer of like that Saltpeter gave, and pointing out, if for whatever reason I find myself unconscious and Saltpeter and his team are unable to help you, and you need access to my equipment, here's what it is. And he labels each and every one of them. This is a neurotoxin. This is a paralyzing agent. This is, and just literally every one of them. So if for whatever reason those situations occur, ask, and it is probably on his jacket somewhere.
Cool.
Wow.
Cool.
He's
And
prepped.
if it isn't, a hero point says it is.
He prepped that today.
Yep.
And if things go awry, are we authorized to use our powers to
By all
protect
means.
ourselves and others?
By all means. Yes.
Why are you dressed that way?
Even though I am hoping for the best, I am prepared for the worst.
I meant the costume, not the gadgets.
They don't know I don't have a superpower.
Ooh.
Are you emulating a particular existing individual?
No.
Then why pretend to be what you are not?
You have a lot to learn.
Okay.
And that's literally his closing statement on your comment.
Dang.
A couple minutes later, he responds, though.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Lewis. Why emulate something I'm not? These are some of the world's most violent criminals. These are some of the world's most reckless criminals. Reckless does not mean stupid. If they knew that I was not superpowered, there's a good chance that they would try and do something reckless with that information. Now, they are, again, not stupid. They know who the top heroes are. They don't know who I am. I could be any hero. Just because they haven't heard of me. And especially because they haven't heard of me. Does that satisfy you?
So your intention is to not only ensure your own safety, but also to potentially have a better interview? Super to super?
The second part was not what I tried to get across, but that is underlying. The first part is safety. If they don't know about me, the less they know about the person interviewing them, the less stupid decisions they will make.
Reckless.
Stupid. They are both reckless and stupid.
You said they weren't stupid.
I said they weren't stupid individuals. They can make stupid choices. Going after me is a stupid choice. Virgil, exuding confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys make your way to, yes, yeah, Death's Door, turn a block. The world's most secure prison. You guys, after about an hour on the train, it comes to a stop, and one of the side doors opens. Everyone gets off, and there's like 5 cars, sort of like armored, reinforced SUVs, and a sizable hero escort. You don't recognize any of them. They're not like big name heroes, but they're all wearing like outfits for DD Turn a Block. And you guys make your way to the facility.
Okay. Are you saying DD Turner block or Turna block?
Turn a Block.
Thank you.
TURNEBLOK.
Thank you.
And so you guys make your way to the prison. Each and every one of you in the car has no idea where you're going. You cannot see out the windows, no matter how hard you try. They cannot be lowered, and the doors are locked securely the moment you get in. It is somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour and a half when you get there. Something disorients your sense of time along the way. And when you finally get out, you find yourself behind at least one wall. There's probably more outside, but you're not sure because you can't see over the one that's currently surrounding the complex you're adjacent to, as it were, that you're all let out of. And the cars pull back, and you don't remember them leaving, but next time you look, they're gone. And you find yourselves as a group of 14 students, Virgil and Saltpeter. They let you into the building, and Virgil explains, "We will be placing you in a safe house, as it were, a viewing location. The interviews are not actually happening in the same building as you. Saltpeter will be staying with you. I will have my own escort, though I will not need it. And I hope you can glean something from this, students. I want to ask some questions that you may have heard before. And you're led basically to a holding and viewing facility. There's a thick plexiglass barrier around everything that can be plexiglassed. And this is not just contemporary plexiglass, but future plexiglass.
Mm-hmm.
It is super resistant. And I mean that in the sense of resistant to superpowers.
Ha.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah. And there's a monitor set up, and Saltpeter's like, hold on 1 second. And he takes his like fingernails and starts adjusting knobs because they're kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, and that should be the feed, and he clinks it, and you see like it pans through a couple different locations real quickly. A hallway, a holding cell, an empty holding cell, another hallway, a lounge, and then finally into a room that looks like it's been set up for an interview. There's a table and a chair that Virgil is already sitting at. And this man is walked in, his hands encased in a block of some unknown strange material. His hair is wild white spikes with neon tinges of yellow, green, orange, and anyone can make an investigation check to identify any of these villains at any point.
Nice. They both rolled 9s.
And my total's a 10. What's
Mine's
yours?
20.
There we go.
This is, he goes by Anarking. His power allows him to deconstruct the materials of anything he touches down to, but not including the molecular level.
Ooh.
Whoa.
So it's still steel, just multiple pieces of it.
Yep.
Okay.
And it occurs to you that his bindings are made out of a single thing for that very reason. As long as he can't touch things, he can't do anything to them.
Only touch things with his hands?
Mm-hmm. It's related to the pads of his fingertips.
Okay, good.
And then I have to make sure I
I
have...
have a kicking fight scene. Kicks his shoes off.
Pat's gonna be on like the second or third villain. The first one's just.
I need to go grab a
gonna be
piece of paper that's probably over there.
No worries.
Sorry about that.
You're good.
Fluid transfer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does somebody mind grabbing me some water?
I would also appreciate it. Oh, I actually can read it off my computer because even if I don't have the physical printout, I have it.
I think you've got some cold water in the fridge.
I would like some. For anyone watching, we're taking a quick little break to get some liquid,
2-minute break.
to drink some water.
Oh, I don't want the cold water.
You don't want cold water? I do though.
Thank you.
I
Sorry.
would greatly like cold water. Now I'm also gonna, if you're okay with that, I'm gonna have a coffee brownie.
Do it.
Do it. I'll hand you two.
Yeah.
Here.
Did you have Ilona's brewing?
Elona's is in my hand.
Okay.
Thank
Tom,
you.
Did you get one yet?
Did I?
No, I thought you were grabbing Thomas' cup.
I do not have one.
There's a Batman mug.
Thank you.
Sarah, did you want to be hydrated?
She's in the bathroom.
Starter water.
Kosher.
Is this because we've been watching a lot of Mindhunter?
No.
How are you enjoying Mindhunter?
I
I'm
love it.
enjoying it.
It's so good. I think it's the best Netflix original. I say that with strict confidence. They have some great shows. I think Mindhunter is in the top 5, if not the top 3, if not the top 1.
Yeah, they
The team they have is just great in every way, shape, and form. I'm also biased because my friend is on it.
yeah. But the characters are great. The actors are all doing fantastic jobs.
Oh yeah.
The thing that impresses me the most is the cinematography, and whatever the AC is they have on focus is so perfect every single time.
They'll be doing a car shot where it's, investigative character A, investigative character B, and the camera's here, and the focus literally perfectly transitions between every line without a camera move. It just, if someone's about to talk, right as the sound comes out, they're perfectly in focus. And then back and forth.
That's really
So
cool.
good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
They
They're
had
very
a
good
shot
at
where
using, they're very good at using environment and background to continue the motion of the series. Like, there's a scene where they're walking down the street and turning to a house, and in the background there's just a car that rolls, and as the car reaches a turn, they turn, and the car goes the other way. It's subtle, but it's so good. So yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm enough into true crime to enjoy it.
You don't have to be.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just a good show.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not a true crime guy. Envy. I'm not a true crime envy, but I just love it. I really do. Again, I'm biased because Cameron is so good.
So good.
He plays
Kemper.
He plays Ed Kemper in the show. Cameron was an old member of the Loft Ensemble.
Okay.
And Ed Kemper is one of the world's most infamous serial killers. And
Sure.
Cameron doesn't have to do anything other than exist to intimidate you. I mean, he's the nicest guy in real life.
Mm-hmm.
But, wow. Terrifying. Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored.
As far as you know.
If Netflix is sponsoring us, then what are we doing?
Getting sponsored by Netflix.
Yeah, but, like, why don't we have better equipment?
Damn.
They were like, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're good.
Part of their appeal is their low quality.
It's low budget.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
ultra low budget.
But I really like the show.
Okay,
No, this
noted.
is not inspired by Mindhunter. This is the first field trip I had planned way before I even had the faculty. I want a field trip to a prison.
My zone.
Because where else do I get to have fun things happen? Anywhere. Really.
I was like, you're literally anywhere.
Yep.
It's your choice.
Yep. I was like, an arcade one day with zombies and prison the next.
We are a video game. At the end of the campaign, it's going to be like, all right, you all wake up in the arcade. All of it was an illusion. Take the red pill.
Would be terrifying.
All of it was an illusion, and the news article published about 5 students found dead shocked the hero world. It was revealed that Ares was behind it all. And that's the end of the campaign. I told you it was about appearance, and I fooled you all.
Damn.
Dang. I've been got.
With Mario was dreaming the whole time.
Mario's a war criminal. Thank you.
Mario is a war criminal.
He's just so cute.
You're cute.
Got him.
I got.
Bam.
You
Flanked.
were flanked, yeah.
I love you people.
And we love you.
You better.
Oh.
I'm worthy of it, Daniel.
Is that a threat?
No, it's understanding my worth.
Why can't it be a threat?
Do you want me to threaten you?
Maybe.
Okay, I'll threaten you, friend. Don't make me threaten you.
What's happening? There's so many emotions happening.
Right, you do.
That's a beanfish.
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 I'll have one later, but not yet. We have beanfish.
Nom nom. Because I can't remember what they're actually called. 'Cause,
Flavor of the week, beanfish.
yeah, the packaging doesn't.
Takoyaki.
Thank you. I thought those were the
No,
little
they're
octopus balls.
no.
I was like, whoa.
No. It's very similar. It's
It's probably something else, Yaki.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's taiyaki.
Because takoyaki is octopus.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's very good.
It is, but I found out that I can't bite through it and then look at it. Because the first one I ate, I was like, this is really good.
Yeah,
and then I
it's
looked at it,
taiyaki,
Taiyaki?
and I'm probably mispronouncing it, but
Gotcha.
yes.
I was like, then I looked in and there was just a purple tentacle and I was like, nope.
Yeah,
That's a relation. I can't eat that.
takoyaki is a one bite deal.
You got to do it in one.
Well, I was trying to like let some of the steam out because it was so hot, and I was like, oh, that's a tentacle.
Yeah. But I mean, tentacles are good, so.
Like they are, but I was like, it's cannibalism.
That's
That's
my uncle.
Yeah, like that's my relative in there.
I do want to note, though, that the word taco means tasty food in at least 3 languages that we know of.
Ooh.
Nice.
That's just a human theme.
Taco.
We're cracking through the matrix, y'all.
Yep.
That's a choice.
Wait, what's the third language?
Right now you're my burrito. You're wrapped up in a little blanket.
There are tortilla
I'm
blankets. If I
confused.
want
I'm
to be
getting
burrito,
lost.
for
This
me.
narrative is moving at a pace I cannot follow.
You're Batman.
You're Batman's in this campaign?
He is now. He turns into a bat.
I mean, without
No,
the
no, no, he's a
humans,
bat
I'm
who
just
turns into a man.
Batgirl.
He's a bat who turns into a man.
He's the first bat super.
Yep. I'm the bat guy.
He's very confusing legally. That's why he gets away with being a hero. What rights does he have? We're not
Sure.
I think he's an endangered species, so we can't really kill him.
You're actually not allowed to fight him.
But I mean, I'm a villain. I'm gonna break the rules. Yeah, but do you want to be like that villain?
Do you want to be that guy?
Do you want to be the one who made an entire species go extinct?
That's like, come on, dude. Like, that's like clubbing baby seals. And I mean, your new rug is nice and all, but come on, dude.
God damn.
They'd be famous if they ended an entire species.
True.
I don't know. Batman's pretty severe. Or sorry, Man-Bat.
No, they still call it Batman.
Batman.
They're like, Batman?
But since he's a bat, his voice is not incredibly low. It's incredibly high.
Superman. My power is I can turn myself into non-super.
I can turn my power off at will.
Yup.
That's my power.
Yup. And by turning it off, I turn it back on.
Paradox.
Yep.
Paradox Man.
Nope, Superman.
I can do it once.
Yep. And then the simulation ends.
And I overflow the stack.
Love y'all fools. Fools.
Aha! The red bean paste fish.
You're a red bean paste
We're almost all
fish.
back.
Okay.
Wrong one.
That sounds like
Okay.
an insult when we
Yeah.
would be like trying to be witty and be like, sure?
And we are back. Thank you anyone who stayed through the break, and thank you to anyone who just joined. Our students have just made their way to the world's most dangerous prison for viewing of some interviews by their psychology teacher. And currently, Virgil Cowell, their psychology teacher, is sitting across the room from a villain known as the Anarking, who can deconstruct matter that he touches down to, but not including the molecular level. So he can break things into smaller things at a touch. And Virgil takes out some papers and just begins reading. Congratulations. If you are hearing this, you have been selected as a potential candidate for freedom. The following written questions are designed to test your understanding of morality, ethics, and villains in society as a whole. Answer honestly, in complete sentences, or don't. We have no way of knowing if you lie to us. Which leads us to the first question. Do you intend to lie to me? And the Anarking just goes, I don't intend to, but I might. If you thought lying would produce a more favorable outcome in your candidacy for a limited sentence that did not involve your death, would you lie? Who wouldn't? Define villainy. What does it mean to be a villain? I think being a villain is all about changing the status quo. That's what you want to do, isn't it, at your fancy little school? Who's your favorite villain? Me. Why? I'm egotistic, dumbass.
That's fair.
He's nailing it.
Yeah.
He's got all his questions right so far.
Aced it so far.
Mm-hmm.
Every young super imagines what they want to do when they grow up. How did you come to this terrible conclusion? I think that's a judgment, and heroes should be above that, Mr. Who are you again? Cowell. Mr. Cowell. I think you're being very unkind to me in your treatment. You really think you're leading a good example by asking such a judgmental question? I don't think that you have any right to talk about judgment, sir. Why, since you won't answer that, should we accept you into the candidacy for this limited parole and extolling of your death sentence, as it were? Because you are trying to make a good impression, New Dawn. You are saying heroes can be reformed, and for some reason you have chosen me. Oh, because I'm symbolic. I'm the Anarking. I exist to deconstruct the status quo. And by freeing me, you send a message. I like you, Mr. Cowell. Thank you. Assuming you aced this exam, why wouldn't we accept you? Assess your flaws. Everything has flaws, Mr. Cowell. Mine are no different than yours. Assessment? Oh. I'd point them out, but I'm a little tied at the moment. Thank you, Mr. King. And then guards escort him out. And the second villain is brought into the room. This is a this woman whose head is shaved entirely clean, with these beady eyes that dart around and analyze the entire image she's brought in. She is wearing a rubber suit and is sat down very promptly by guards who refuse to let go of her. Investigation checks, if anyone cares.
18.
15.
Surge. She can travel along electric currents.
Oh.
And has used that to both commit many crimes, escape from many crimes, and enable many crimes. Many of which include murder. Miss Surge, I will be asking you a series of questions. Congratulations. If you're hearing them, you've been selected as a candidate for our limited parole. And he goes through the spiel again. You all, if you haven't picked up on it, recognize this as your entrance exam, with the word hero replaced with the word villain. And this time around, Virgil is hyper judgmental. He doesn't ask the questions as you remember them. He asks them in a, like, the answers he's digging for are still similar, but it's, so I'm going to ask because I have to, but you're going to lie on this exam, aren't you? And things of that nature. Define villainy as best as you can.
What does she say
For that,
for villainy? Yeah.
freedom. Every young super imagines what they would do when they grow up. Why did you decide to be a murderer? And it's stuff like that. This time he's hyper judgmental, and you can see it getting to her. You can see, like, she starts to shake underneath the rubber. And at one point she's like, you know, there's an electric current running through most things, Mr. Cowell. You know, if I wanted to, I could probably just, you know, I mean, they take me out. But you're really pissing me off. And she's escorted out. The third exam is very polite and courteous. And it is with a man who's about 13 feet tall, covered in fur with two gigantic curved tusks. And he's got cloven feet and sits down in the chair that has been replaced and reinforced for him. Investigation check.
I want to know who this is. 11.
23.
The Mammoth.
Oh, sorry, 25, but...
I do not have to explain
Yep.
his power.
Big boy.
Yes, he could travel through time.
No. He makes really good snowmen.
Ooh!
Yep, those are his powers.
He has both of them.
So these questions are very polite and very courteous, and the Mammoth responds curtly. He seems to have accepted the fact that, yeah, his crimes led him to death's door, and he is not long for this world, so he's going to... You almost sense, like, a wanting for reform in the Mammoth. Not like a guilt, but he's like, I recognize that what I did was wrong, but I recognize that I don't feel guilt for doing it. I feel guilt because society has pushed guilt onto me. I have a power that says I can take what I want and I can do what I want. I was born with this. I'm better than you. And yet, despite that attitude, he is treated very courteously. A fourth villain is brought in.
Oh, what did he say for the... What did the Mammoth say for the villainy thing?
Yeah, sure. define villainy. And if there's any questions that any of you want from any of these, I'm happy to do them. But I wanted to save time. We did not have to do 4 full Thomas talking to Thomas interviews.
No, I'm just particularly curious in that question.
Define villainy. I think villainy is a societal pressure that says just because I won the genetic lottery, I shouldn't be able to use it. Villainy is institution. Villainy is order. The only order necessary when we are gifted with such things should be survival of the fittest. And yet it is not. I think that is what villainy is. That because the majority do not wish it, those powerful few cannot exist. What would be their definition of true freedom? Villainy is that oppression. And the fourth and final villain brought in. One arm kind of swings at his side. The other one just looks like he never had it. It doesn't look like a tragic accident. There's no binding. But the arm that swings at his side, it is unusually long. It's kind of the length of his body. It's really weird. And he's just a messy mop of dirty brown hair. Just hard to make out his face. And he sits down and has his arm bound to the chair. He obviously escorted in. It's not like he got to just swing his way in. And investigation checks if anyone cares.
Ooh, that's a 13.
That's a 9.
Yeah, no one knows who this is. He's
Long
here.
arm man.
He's here for a reason, but you're not sure why.
He's a member of the army.
Give me back a hero. I'm kidding. No. I'm kidding. Keep it. And he asks these questions as quickly as he can. Not to get himself out of the situation, but literally the words come out as fast as he can say them. And he's asked, like, repeat yourself. I can't understand what you're saying. Are you trying to piss me off? Come on. If you want me to answer these questions honestly, you gotta ask them slower. Okay, hotshot, I get it. You're from a prestigious school. That doesn't mean I have a prestigious intellect, so slow the fuck down. And Virgil eventually does, but he never gives full control of this conversation to the man across from him. And it's towards the end of the interview. And why should we accept your candidacy into the program? Obviously, at this point, he's whittled down and at the slower pace. And just goes, honestly, I don't think you should. I'd probably go out there and do the same shit I've always been doing. I see something I want, I take it. I see money or power in my grasp, I'm gonna grab it. You know, I don't exactly got an arm to do that with, but I'll take it and I'll make it mine. I don't think you should let me out because I know for a fact that I enjoyed everything I did, and I would enjoy doing it all again. I would enjoy this opportunity to use my powers one last time. You know, I think that would be really beneficial for me. You know, I'm on death's row. What's my final meal? I don't know. I'd like to shoot some shit. I'd really like to shoot some shit. Yeah. What was the question? And, yeah, he is the last one interviewed, in this little sequence. And if anyone had any questions they wanted to hear from any of those 4 villains, I'm happy to do them, but otherwise I will just continue on.
Long arm man, what was your name? Kidding.
Wasn't on the test.
Yep.
And Virgil, to his credit, not a single time through all of the threats did he ever break his temper, or his calm. Not a single time did he ever change his demeanor, except when it was obviously intentional. Very in control of his own psyche. And as the last villain leaves the room, there's a little and the camera flickers for a second before Virgil gets up and leaves.
I don't trust it.
So that was what Virgil was hoping to accomplish. Saltpeter speaks up for the first time in a hot minute. Yep. Yeah, I know, but despite my tremendous size, I blend into every situation with perfect camouflage.
Like a jungle cat.
Yeah, I like being called that, like a puma.
Okay.
What?
You picked the one cat that's not in the jungle.
Did I?
Yes.
A little bit.
Well, I don't claim to be an educated man. I claim to be a talented one.
And a jungle cat.
Yeah. You claimed I was a jungle cat. I claimed I was a puma. I can be both. What if I'm a lion and a puma? I'm a luma. I'm a pine. I'm saltpeter, and I'm better than both. Can a lion shoot its knuckles out like a shotgun?
Once.
No. No, it can't.
They can extend and retract their claws. Does that count?
Sure. Then I am a simple lion. Regardless, yeah, you forgot I was here. That was what Virgil wanted to talk about. That should be it. I mean, I hope you all gleaned whatever it was he wanted you to glean from that. I think he was talking to me about, I'm going to use the same questions so they can understand that the only difference between a hero and a villain is the mentality, and if you understand the psyche of one, you can get into their head and shut them down before they can start, and something about different interview tactics based on the different psychological profiles he received of these prisoners so that he could be in total and utter control, and how he didn't even need powers to be, winning or something. Yeah. Then the door opens, and Virgil walks in. Hello, everyone. I hope that was valuable. They were questions I had to ask regardless, and I figured that it's not often you get to see these things, or hear these things, and I would rather you get them firsthand instead of the edited versions that will be going into the book.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any questions? Kurt raises a hand. Why did you waste our time? It's a bold question, Kurt. Why do you think it was a waste of time? I don't understand what we gained by coming here instead of studying at the curriculum that you had already set out for us. What if this was part of the curriculum, kid? What if this was part of the plan? Your confrontational nature undermines your authority. You are quite forward with your words, Kurt. I promise you, there was a reason I brought you here. Does anyone else have a question? Very well, yeah.
Not a question straight out. Something sounds wrong about him. Does his heartbeat sound the same as it did before? Because he doesn't sound like Virgil quite, and I don't know why. Allie's trying to make some kind of perception check here.
Then make a perception check.
He didn't. I'm trying to figure out if he's just like in a mood or if something happened.
He
Because
stubbed his toe on the
he
way
doesn't sound right for whatever reason. That is 18.
Okay, because you said you wanted to make a perception check to hear that he's the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah, his heartbeat's a little faster, but otherwise he's him.
Okay.
He might just be a little aggressive for having been in the situation and maintaining the cool as long as he was.
Okay. That's what I thought it might be, but like
He's stressed.
yeah. I wonder if it was stress or if something was wrong
Miss
with him.
Lewis.
Why precisely were you antagonistic with Surge?
2 reasons. 1, I read all of their psychological profiles before I came here, and Surge is the one that I knew I would be interviewing that I deemed least threatening, and I needed to be antagonistic with one of them. Why did I need to be antagonistic with one of them? This is the second answer. I wanted to not only show the importance of understanding a villain, but the importance of what you bring to a situation. The tactics I employed in each interview were different, and the answers I got reflected that. Surges were quick, off-putting, and ultimately dismissive. Magnum, who I was, in a similar sense, dismissive to and disrespectful towards, accepted that he wasn't on his way out, and he knew that I was fucking with him. As it were. Don't repeat that word to your parents. Or do. You're all adults. I mean, you're heroes in the making. You're adults. You're gonna get used to it. I had 4 approaches that I needed to exemplify, different ways you could approach a situation, and I didn't give any of you the psychological profiles of these people beforehand, and I don't plan on releasing them to you. That is classified information for me and me alone. But the importance was to showcase the differences in how you approach a situation. I am supposed to be teaching you villain psychology, but if you approach things with the attitude of a villain, you will get the results that I got. Among other extrapolations that you can pull from the information. Your question was ultimately, why did I try an antagonistic approach? Because I needed to demonstrate. Because I think that better than anyone in this room, I can pull off a perfectly antagonistic approach. Except for maybe Saltpeter. Like, I got big guns. You do. Very well. Let's make our way back to the bus, and, we should get back in time for PE. So it's a similar escort. You're with your buddies, which, haha, joke's on you guys. I got you prepared for something. No, I'm kidding. You guys get with your buddies and make your way into the cars. You don't remember getting to the train, but you find yourself at the train. You guys get on the train. It goes an hour back in the other direction. You are escorted from the train to a bus. Saltpeter says goodbye, and you make your way back to the campus. You make your way to a physical education class. Where did my schedule go? Yeah. In PE, this is just, unless there's anything particular people wanted to do, there's nothing planned for this PE class. It is specifically just a player mentioned wanting to get back in time for PE, so I'm going to give it to you guys. Because I thought you had something you wanted to accomplish.
No, it's just in character.
For sure.
Move.
Yeah, and so you guys get back in time for PE, and you exercise your powers, and your bodies, and your minds. Nope, that was the rest of the day. This is the body and power section. And that ends your academic school day, as this is day 1 of clubs. And we have clubs we can get to. Particularly, I have 3 written down and a 4th in the works. We have our Z-Axis Club, our Cooking Club, and our Extreme MMA Club. Do we have a preference for which one we do first?
Not particularly.
Okay, I'm gonna get out a D6, so I can roll a die that's not a D20 this session. 8, yeah, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 4. Okay, we're gonna start with the Z-Axis Club. Thank you. So the Z-Axis Club, we've got Kurt, Ares, 2 of our 3 pro tags, and a girl that no one recognizes shows up. Your moderator for this club is...
No, not...
Blowhard.
Blowhard.
For a second, I thought you were going to say gerbil, and I was like, who the fuck is gerbil?
Yeah, gerbil.
The class gerbil. He signed the paperwork.
Yeah, the class gerbil who signed the paperwork. Yeah, I see you. You're laughing at my song. She's this black girl. She's got her hair in very simple, like, cornrows, and she's got sunglasses on, wearing a simple, like, tracksuit, and she doesn't look like she can fly, but, I mean, neither do you, and neither does Isaac. And she takes the shades down a little bit, and she's like, "Sup?
Nice to meet you. I'm Isaac.
Leia."
Nice to meet you, Leia.
Yeah.
Looking forward to working with you.
Z-Axis Club, right? Cool. I see 2 people with wings and 3 without. I'm kind of disappointed by the turnout, but maybe that'll improve in the future. When the DM preps more for the club. But I don't want too many NPCs.
That's fair.
So what are we doing today?
Let's set up an obstacle course.
Kurt's like, I can do that. I've been working on some designs to best accentuate the strengths and flaws of the people I thought would be present. I'm afraid I don't know what you do, Leia, so I didn't plan for that. But for the 3 of you, 2 of you, and 3, he points at Ares, we should be able to make something work. So an obstacle course, then.
Yes.
and he pulls out some schematics to double check them as he pulls out like just pieces of metal and scrap and starts smushing and pulling, and like he gets some hoops, he just throws them in the air and they levitate at a certain distance.
This is why you're here. This is why you're here.
And he's like, Leia, is there anything I should do to accommodate you? And she goes, nope, looks like I got this. And she's like just over the top of the sunglasses in that very anime way. Her eyes are just darting obstacle to obstacle. What's the order? Are we doing like a race to get through them all? And he's like, I don't know. It is up to all of you. I am simply here to provide. And
We should at least be timing.
And Blowhard speaks up. Time trials?
Yes.
Time trials?
Well, first, let's all get a little bit of familiarity with the course. I
Yeah.
would say some free runs, and then...
Yeah. Okay. Free runs. And just one at a time. Don't hurt each other. I'll make sure of that. And try not to make me laugh.
Yes, ma'am.
But I memorize jokes.
Well, let's hear one then, before we start. Go on.
I don't know actual jokes.
I called your
the
bluff.
joke.
I called your bluff.
Robin memorized jokes.
Yeah, go ahead and make me,
I specifically checked out joke books and wrote them
I know
down.
you did. Make me...
She doesn't know any.
Just a presence, or...
Yeah, make a presence check. I was looking at the skill checks. I'm like, none of these fit.
Persuasion, persuade to laugh.
8.
Yeah, she's like, try again next time.
Work on your delivery.
Yeah.
And this is arbitrary, but it gives a sense of rivalry and competition. So everyone go ahead and make any check you can justify for getting through this course.
Acrobatics.
Hey, can I go first?
Sure. We all get our free runs.
Also,
Not 20?
Nat 20.
Okay, that makes sense.
34.
Yep,
Are clubs running concurrently?
they are.
Okay.
I guess...
Aries does great.
Good for him.
Aries comes out with a 29.
Nice.
And like you watch him, the maneuverability he has just between when you last saw him and now, he has been working. He's been on the grind.
Good boy.
Like you watch him go into one of the hoops, pull his wings tight, and then like sort of peer away almost in the air as he goes into this free fall like a proper bird, and like right before his face is gonna crash into the ground, like catches himself and updraft, like just very fancy maneuvers
Nice.
as he just immediately goes second.
I am not sure what... maybe just like agility?
Sure, whatever you want to justify, as long as you can argue it, then I'll allow it.
Because I'm having difficulty justifying any of my other things.
Yeah. Agility, it can be agility because that can justify how quickly you can change your axes that you're launching off of.
The other thing that I might attempt to justify would be insight. Specifically because...
Advanced geometry.
Advanced geometry, but more so like I've watched a bird do the course. I've watched someone who also is working on vectors. So I want to kind of combine them to
Make
figure
an
out
insight
how to...
check for a circumstantial bonus to your agility check.
Okay, cool. So... 20, not natural.
That's a +2 to your insight, or to your
to the agility
check.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've got a +3.
Agile.
That's a 9.
So you go up, and it's a little clunky because the rings are hard to launch off of. They're thin, and they sort of wobble when you make contact with them. And Kurt is immediately like he's like, oh, I need to account for that in the future. And he says it out loud. He's like, failing on my part. And after your run, you watch as Leia. She's like, okay, I think I got this. And with a 19 total, she cracks her fingers. She just points 1, 2, 3, and then steps as basically, it's like looking through like the glass of an aquarium at each of the points she indicates, as time stops, and so does all of the matter within it at each of the little blocks she points at, and just walks on air, not because the air is solid, but because it is immobile.
Frozen in time.
That's super cool.
And it is not only this, but some very tight maneuvers. She seems to be very flexible as a person. And anyone can make an insight check to see what her martial training might be if you'd like. But if you don't, that's totally fine.
That's not something that Robin would be interested in.
Cool. For sure. And she clears the course, and everyone but Isaac, I'm guessing, runs it a couple more times because Isaac looks like he wants to get to another extracurricular.
I left after the first round.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought so.
Let's be everywhere.
And then highs for cooking and lows for MMA. That's a 19. So cooking club. So here we have. Oh, Rita, you've got. Sorry, Rin, you've got a double dip.
I know. Today's all MMA though. I'm gonna let Cooking Club figure their shit out for a couple days.
So
and then I'm
nothing
gonna go judge.
happens on screen at cooking club.
Well,
Efficient.
unless Isaac goes.
But that's going to be a touchdown visit, like.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Rather than doing it on camera. I don't think that's going to be something that's necessary for everybody on camera.
And then we move to Extreme MMA.
Nice.
Lenny, Jareth, and Kyrie are all present, as well as Isaac.
Come in later.
Who comes in a little later. Kyrie is the blonde I described earlier, the green eyes. I mentioned their name, but I'm saying it again for clarity. And then this Indonesian young man comes in. His hair is just in a tight little man bun. And he's got a headband to catch the sweat falling from his forehead. He appears to be flustered in entirety, and he's wearing a pair of boxing gloves.
Nice.
Like, hi,
Howdy.
Gunter.
Rin.
Rin. Your hand is warm.
It's always warm.
Yeah, but it's extra warm.
Toasty.
That's the DM telling you.
Oh. He was like, you can feel that through the boxing gloves?
Yeah.
It's like, so are we punching each other?
And then Rin pretty much just turns to Panacea and is like, what are we permitted to do?
Anything that doesn't involve death and that you are willing to accept the repercussions for.
That.
If you are dealing out an injury, expect to take it on your own and expect to take it twice because that's how my healing works.
And then Rin kind of bounces and she essentially lays out, it's not tournament style, but it's pretty much, you're going to pick, people are going to be paired off, you're going to pick a pairing, you're going to do a fight, winner then has to fight somebody else, and then Rin warns everyone that she is swinging for the fences because she can take a swing to the fences.
And at that, Fantasy's like, and remember, don't kill your classmates.
I won't. I have restraint.
Okay. And so we've got 4 people, and Isaac, if you'd like to show up for this, you can, and I'll just do quick rolls to determine outcomes.
I'll pretty much add second round would be, I think,
Okay.
people that enter
The
second
first round, let's do Rin versus Gunter, because he's new. Let's go. Just roll a die and add any singular stat you think you can justify. Ouch.
Raw strength. 14.
Well, Gunter rolled a nat 1.
Oh, poor
So,
Gunter.
so you get in the ring, and as he's going to take off a boxing glove, you just slug him.
He's mid-boxing glove when the bell rings and Rin just...
And he's just like, he hit... It's like watching a ragdoll hit the... Like, I'm imagining a boxing ring proper. Just... boom. And he's just out cold. You see a little bit of steam coming from under the boxing glove.
Did I hit him that hard?
And Fantasy's like, I guess Rin wins.
Ding ding.
Because he nat 1. And she takes him, and she's like, I'm sorry, honey. And you hear... As his neck didn't break, but like you definitely dislocated some stuff. As they pop back and he just what?
It was a good attempt.
And he looks at the boxing glove that's not even up, and he's like, okay.
Take them off before the fight starts.
I can't.
What?
Yeah, it's not safe.
For who?
Anyone
How?
takes it off and holds it, and his hand is dripping with lava.
You want to fight me again?
No?
Next time?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And the gloves, you notice, like, they look like boxing gloves, because that's the style he chose. They are literally insulated to support lava.
I love it.
Yep.
That's so angsty. You can't hold hands with anybody.
He can hold hands with someone very, very briefly.
I've got 3 people left. Lenny versus Kyrie. Lenny. Kyrie. Okay, Lenny and Kyrie go back and forth. Lenny takes a second because Kyrie's power is now put on display. They flicker in and out. They phase, and it is not super conscious, and Lenny catches them after learning the timing of their natural flicker. As Kyrie sort of literally, it is kind of rhythmic. And Lenny and Kyrie are both working around that. Kyrie knows their own rhythm and is like making sure that they're not exposed to Lenny's ridiculous reach during that time. But it's not the reach that they get caught by. It's Lenny doing a hook around, basically throwing out an intentional miss that then springs back and catches on the downbeat, as it were.
Basically punching
And
the
then
grass
there's
with the ground,
Jareth.
punches back.
With no one to fight.
And then Isaac lands.
Hey, welcome to the club.
Ooh,
We're
are we
throwing
doing?
some punches.
Are we doing round robin or something like that?
Jarrett's the only one who hasn't fought yet.
Hi, you want to fight?
Yep.
Close combat. 26.
4. How do you trounce him?
On his way to the next one.
You trounce him. It's that quick. And you're just like, I hate this.
Okay. And then after that fight, Rin is going to like kind of crack her knuckles, and there's definitely like in the air that she's ready to fight the next person, and then she goes, all right, so here's why you lost. And then she breaks down the list of where people messed up, and basically she's like, you weren't prepared to fight someone. You need to be ready to fight before a punch is swung.
Yeah.
I look
You're
forward
right.
to you punching me next time.
I mean, I do, but you don't. I'm aware. This is a couple thousand degrees.
Great.
Okay.
And then she moves to Kyrie, and she's like, you are clearly on a clock. You need to know your clock better than your opponent does, and you need to pay attention to where your opponent is going, because clearly they're going to try and work around that clock.
Yeah, I realized that. This is the first time I've had a practical application.
And I look forward to more.
Me too.
And then she waits,
Yep.
and then she turns to Jareth. Same note I gave the first guy.
Yeah, I'm aware. I was ready to fight. Isaac is just mobile and admittedly more proficient than I am at the time.
The only time I've ever seen you fight is against hypermobile opponents. You're going to need to find resources to fight them.
I'm aware of that, miss. Miss. I'm aware of that, Rin. I don't have that yet. It's been a week.
I know.
I'm working on it.
And I'm here to help.
Thank you.
We'll figure something out.
And your fist is just pulled to his.
Cool.
Your fist sticks to his for a little longer. He's like,
She just
Picks
no,
him
no,
up.
no. Hold on.
And Lenny, good job.
He's like, thanks. Are we gonna fight now?
We can.
You said you wanted to punch me, and you said it was a round robin. So if you're in front and I'm in front, that means we have to fight each other. And you said you wanted to punch me really hard, and I want to get punched really hard.
Yes.
Come on.
Fight begins.
Singular roll.
Raw strength. I just want to see what happens. 8.
So she rolled toughness because that's what she almost always rolls,
I love her.
and she wins.
I don't doubt it.
You're like, I want to punch you as hard as you can. And she's like,
Rin-
okay, that's totally fine.
Rin is not strategy right now. It's just I want to see what happens.
As you throw the strongest punch, she's like, it's totally fine because there's a ring so I can stretch.
and Rin's like, what?
And you hit her, and she hits the edge of the ring. She's like, see, normally, and it's like slow-mo, when someone hits me, I have as far as my body can go. But this ring's stopping me from going anywhere. And then rebounds with the full force of your punch, like a cannonball to your face.
Fucking ejected from the ring, sumo wrestler style. As she lands basically in front of Panacea, and she's like, that was awesome.
Fantasy is like, this won't be.
That felt pretty normal.
For you it does.
It's the touch, and Rin's like, when does it happen?
Okay, dear.
I'm waiting.
No, it happened.
Oh! She just sits up and is like, oh, I'm so sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's our quick little interlude with Fight Club.
Ah, Lenny.
I love her.
Oh, Lenny, you're
And then we
so
have Cooking
cool.
Club that no one is at except for Isaac at the very end, and you show up to literally people like cleaning off plates. Terrence and Higa you recognize, and the other two you don't.
Introduce. Hi, Isaac.
I am Armoire.
Nice to meet you, Anwar.
And a quick little handshake. And then there's this individual with like a black ponytail, eyes are, I don't know, brown. Figured out
They're
what
an anime background character.
the anime background
Yeah.
character, and they're just like cleaning their fingers like silverware. Like you hear shing,
They
shing,
go
shing,
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 shing, shing, and they do that, and then and their fingers kind of. You watch as knives and fingers come up, Julian.
Nice to meet you, Julian.
Likewise. On the nose with
Anything-
that one.
Anything I can help with? Can I help wash dishes?
Nah, we're good. You're Isaac, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're on the list. We were wondering where you were.
I was at Z-Axis and then Fight Club.
Oh, you're ambitious. Good for you. And the finger turns into a laser pointer.
Ooh, interesting. Flash out for the eyes there.
Yep.
Should I be trying to arrive at this one a little earlier then to catch the action or stuff like that?
The action. So we're going over recipes, basics right now. If you want to learn the basics, you should probably be showing up. If you want to learn anything in Cooking Club, it's something that takes time.
We're learning how to Julian.
Knife skills.
That's the joke.
When is the time when the most learning takes place?
I'm trying to speedrun my learning.
I guess somewhere in the middle when we're taste testing.
Okay, you're in the middle then. Cool. I'll see you tomorrow then.
Yep.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, likewise. And the thumb is replaced with just like a big pointer. Just like a comically large thumb.
Like one of the football stadium
Yep.
thumbs. Just Julian's cool.
I like Julian. And that is our clubs. As we move from...
Wait, doesn't Allie have a club now?
Allie's not in a club yet.
Drawing club.
Drawing club hasn't started yet.
Okay, that's
But Allie, when you get back to your dorm, there is like a letter taped to your door.
Just immediately suspicious because we were all lured off campus to do whatever the fuck it was.
They're resorting to physical means.
And I'll open it up and read it.
It looks like it's been written in chicken scratch.
Hey!
As, It is a sign-up sheet for Drawing Club with the permission forms for a teacher to look over already filled in by Solar Flare. The one other name on it is Ares Moteru.
He wants to beat you at drawing.
I have to redeem myself. And the
Flip
like,
on my phone.
the-
Rain, I don't understand rivalries. I need a quick.
the
This
letter
is
the,
one
letter
line.
the letter itself is written in chicken scratches. Did it. That's all it says. But it took you a second to decipher it.
It's actually 5 letters.
Yep. It's
But this will also be one of the only times that Rin doesn't respond immediately.
Oh, cause I know you're at club probably trouncing somebody.
Yep.
You'll tell me later, but send it.
About
now.
50-50. I'm doing okay. Yeah. Solid second.
But if someone else made the effort, it would be rude for me not to, so I'll fill in my name and then figure out where it's supposed to go. Probably back to Solar
Conveniently, Rita is walking down the hall and she's like, "Hey,
Flare. Where do club application? Thank you.
yep." Shoves it in her pocket. I'll get that where it needs to go. What club?
Drawing.
She
art,
uncrumples it a
something.
little bit. Drawing. Solar Flare. Makes sense. I'm not doing anything. Writes her name on it.
Let's set up Higa too.
I'm surprised that Rita didn't have a club already.
She's probably more officiating than attending.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That is the gist of it.
She's basically student council president.
She's trying
Yeah.
to be.
Mm-hmm.
She's trying real hard to be.
Yep.
Yes, I love her.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, she just throws the papers to where they need to go. She doesn't actually hand deliver them. She just
Best at paper airplanes.
Paper airplanes.
Yeah, paper airplanes.
she's in ZX's club just to throw planes.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it's like throwing rings into the bottom of the pool for diving. You send the paper airplane up, and you have to go get it before it hits the ground.
Fun. Not gonna happen, but fun. and that ends our theoretical club activities. As you guys make your way back to your dorms, and if there's anything you'd like to do with the rest of the day, by all means, let me know.
So dealing with a rival. What do you mean?
Ares has at lunch.
Uh-huh. He had a lunch.
Shut up.
Oh.
He said he was jealous of me because I beat him during the one test
During which test?
when we were trying to get in to the school.
No, you lost to him in that one. He was on my team.
Yes, but I sucked the blood directly, not directly, out of him. I don't get up that close and personal, but like I was the one that caused him to fall out of the sky, so I guess to him, he believes he is jealous of me, and I'm concerned that he's trying to do the rivalry thing that you do, and I don't know how to be on the other end of that.
You've been on the other end of that. We had a rivalry in Japan.
No, you just didn't like me.
What's the difference?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
Well, I mean, all that I do is I find someone. My heart ignites when I see them, so clearly I don't like them. So I do my best to let them know that by being better than them.
I feel like you haven't listened to a lot of love songs. Or read sonnets. We should probably swing around to that
Rin
some
just
point.
loves everyone.
Very suddenly like, whoa, why are we bringing sonnets into this? I thought we were talking about rivalries.
We are.
Okay. But
So how do you do one
Okay,
of those?
so
I don't know. Or how do you
has he
stop one
challenged
of
you to
those?
formal combat?
I don't think so. He started a club that I meant, like I show her the chicken scratch letter.
No, you don't.
I don't.
Oh, the letter, yes.
The letter
The letter
itself.
just says, did it.
Mm-hmm. He started, like, he asked me what sort of club I'd want to do. Yeah, I know, he's got terrible handwriting.
Chicken scratch.
What language is this in?
I think he's trying, it's English. It's just, like,
Yes, talents.
not, it'd be hard for him to hold a pen. He's just got
Understandably so, but what does it say? Just tell me.
Did it.
Did what?
Started the club that I mentioned, and I don't quite know why on that either. But I think it's trying to be a rivalry, because I told him that if it would make him feel better, pick a different thing that we could compete at that he was really good at, so I could lose and he'd feel better about
So he
it.
started a drawing club?
I guess that's what it looks like.
Does he just want to lose a second time?
I have no idea.
I'm confused what he's hoping to gain from this particular challenge.
I don't know either.
Okay.
I thought it was a rivalry thing, which is why
Okay.
I asked you.
So here's what you have to do now. Now you
Okay.
have to send him a letter that is equally illegible. In fact, more illegible than what
can't
he's
write
already
poorly.
sent you. I'll write it. So we're going to send him a letter that's even more illegible, challenging him to a drawing fight.
Why?
Because he's your rival.
I don't know. I don't want the rivalry. How do I stop it?
You unequivocally win.
I would like to not be in a rivalry.
Uh-huh. And you want to voluntarily cease the rivalry.
Sure. Yes, that works. That's good language. How do I do that? When people
Middle
lose-
distance gaze blue screen. Just
When people lose to you, what do they say and what do they do?
they usually say I'll try and get you next time, and then I just beat them up again.
That's fair. You did that a lot at school.
Yeah. I mean, eventually they usually tuck tail and run, but I don't want you to tuck tail and run from him.
I don't have a tail. He does.
No.
Tail feathers?
I mean,
feather tail?
he does have tail feathers.
Yes.
But
That doesn't count as a
Okay, wait. I know someone who's going to handle this much differently than I'm going to handle this.
Who?
She texts Isaac. Isaac, can you meet us in whatever fucking location we're in?
We'd probably be outside the dorms because I don't know
Yeah.
if they let
Yeah.
yeah,
co-ed.
outside the
co-ed.
dorms. There's general lobby areas.
Actually, we're on our way already.
We?
Who is we?
Because I'm thinking if things succeeded on what I was going to do, I might have been on my way anyway.
Sure.
So let's see
basically-
what you were gonna do.
Yeah.
Head into the room. If Ares is chilling there, or when Ares gets back.
Yeah, no, Ares is there, and you see his little desk has like a pen and a couple of crumpled up pieces of paper like just scattered around, and he's like just sitting in a beanbag.
Hey, Ares, you got anything going on right now?
I did my thing that I needed to do today, and now it's just relaxing and then getting to homework. What's up?
Well, if you're not doing anything, want to come with me? I'm heading to the girls' dorm.
What? Isaac, we're not allowed there.
Super
You just knock on the door. Just be like, hey, we want to visit and study and stuff. And then if they say no, go away, then we just go away.
I mean, we could invite them to the library, but I don't think we can just go to their dorm.
Why not? We knock on the door, we ask.
Yeah,
We're
but
not
I don't
breaking
think
in.
I don't think they're allowed to let us in.
Only one way to find out.
I mean, we're not allowed to let them in. To our
Has anybody
dorms.
ever tried?
We were told not to.
Why not?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
Sure, yeah, that doesn't make any
More
sense.
super babies on this campus. That's why.
NDU is on top of everything, including teen pregnancy rates.
You should see their anti-smoking program. There's a sniper on the roof.
They just shoot you with like an anti.
No,
They
just
shoot
shoot
the
you.
bullet. They shoot the cigarette out of your hand. You move to smoke, it's just. And you're like, ah, damn it.
Yeah, I don't think we can just go over there, buddy.
Oh, I'm about to find out.
Okay,
If you don't
well,
want to come with, then
I mean, I'll watch. It'll be fun.
sure. Well, see. Call a couple other people, see if they want to come down.
Okay,
Maybe
you
we can
should. You
study
should.
and stuff.
Brigade.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. And he opens the window and hops out.
And call up Ryan and Higa, given that they are various other people who are socially inept.
He's like a shepherd.
You're not wrong.
Ryan agrees,
Isaac,
and
you're so good.
and Ryan's like very innocent agree. He's like, I mean, if you want to hang out, I'll do it.
Yeah, come on.
And he goes like,
He sighs wistfully in the text
yes.
message.
Yeah.
No, you get ...
Just wanted to make sure you were invited.
Okay.
Okay, that's good from an artist type.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Letters.
like you meet them at the bottom of the like the entrance. I was gonna say the bottom of the dorms, but the entrance. I'll make your way happily across campus. Aries is like doing laps.
Yeah, he is.
Every time you look, it's like he doesn't need a pair of binoculars, but it would be comical if he had one.
A little pair of opera glasses.
Yes.
No,
He has a monocle.
He literally has a bird's eye view. He doesn't need them.
Yeah, he's got those falcon eyes.
Yep.
And if you want to stumble upon this scene at any moment,
Yeah.
feel free.
What
because
are you
We're
gonna be up
outside
to?
of your home.
That's fine. Robin's already ahead on the homework. She would be doing a little bit of like psych research on the arcade because he's a long dead villain. There's probably a publicly available psychological profile.
Make
on
an
him.
investigation report.
27.
Do you want the most recent report or the historic one?
Most recent.
Okay. You immediately see Virgil Cowell's name attached to it. This is a deep psychoanalysis written as part of one of many theses that he ended up writing in the process to obtaining his credentials on heroes with powers that augment the psyche and the perception thereof. And common trends between them. And narcissism and a strong desire of justice and righteousness are present in the majority of them. And that's what this sort of thesis is presenting, is that the idea of wanting to do good leads to bad. It is an experimentation and a thought process like discussion. It is not something that Virgil opinionates or says that he believes in. It is the what if. And if so, how can we apply that to what we know of these people and what can that teach us?
Okay.
It is a thorough experiment and analysis.
Does it suggest ways to approach people like this?
Play to their ego. Play to their sense of justice. Play to understanding that what they want is what's right, and that's what you want too. But understand that you will accomplish it through different means, because their sense of right is what's wrong.
Sentence.
Got
Who
it.
writes seems wrong. And
Thank you.
left.
For sure. Anything else? Did you
Um,
want to be privy to this big fustercluck of characters I'm about to have to roleplay?
If you're in the
Sure.
library, we might be heading your way.
I was gonna say, if you guys are going to the library, then cool. But if not, arguably she's coming back from the library as all of this is.
Yeah, you're coming back from the library as you see 3 of the boys outside the dorms. Isaac, a red-haired boy you don't recognize, and Ryan. And Isaac is knocking very aggressively. And the red-haired boy with his, as I said last time, his baguette on his
Yeah, he's got a baguette.
It's a
Can I-
snack.
Canonically.
It's
No,
the last thing he painted.
it's his beret, and he's wearing a painter's smock. What the fripp? And he's flicking a pen in his fingers, and it's transitioning pen, paintbrush, pencil, eraser, pen, paintbrush, pencil, eraser, over and over. He's like whispering things in hushed tones that you can't quite hear, as Isaac is just relentlessly knocking on the girl's door.
Robin! Hey, Robin! Hey! Hey,
Hi.
Robin!
Isaac, can I help you?
Yeah, wanted to pay a visit, meet some people.
You're not allowed in the girls' dorm.
Well, that's why we're knocking, to see if the people can come out so we can meet them. We can meet more people.
You're just knocking on the front door and
Yeah.
hoping people walk by.
Well, so far,
Door open. You got my text!
Hey, how can I help?
I need a second opinion.
And
Okay.
right before that happens, just so I don't lose the opportunity, the red-haired artist leans in and he goes, "Well, someone did walk by."
Oh!
You rocked. Second opinion. Okay, what are we opinioning on?
Okay, so essentially, what is Ares with them at this exact moment?
He's flying laps.
Rin doesn't look up. Okay, so essentially, what happened is Allie here is currently in the middle of a rivalry with the other bird, Ares.
I know if I
and
am.
what
Ooh,
needs to
rivalry,
happen
the flames
is
of
that
ambition.
she wants to escape said rivalry. But I've never escaped a rivalry, I've just merely conquered them. So what we need is essentially an escape route for her to let Ares know that she is not interested in pursuing this particular rivalry.
to study.
Well, as far as we haven't gotten in the building yet. That's part of the thing.
You're not
Another
allowed
thing
in the
came
building.
up. Not if we're in, what if you just came, so I'm knocking on the door and I'm going to say, "Hey, can we come in?" And then you're just going to say no?
We have to.
You have to.
There's literally a plaque that says boys are not allowed.
It's literally above and to the sides of the front door.
That's dumb. We're supposed to be building bridges, not
You have
building
the
walls.
same plaques in your dorm.
But what if we want to hang out?
Then we hang out somewhere that's not the dorm.
Are there places with couches that we can
The
hang
library?
The library has a lounge area.
out? You're not supposed to talk really loud. That's why I don't go there.
Let's go to
So we
someplace
sit
off campus.
outside.
Off campus or... And this is Higa speaking. I don't know. Any of the grass or open air? Or...
By the way, this is Higa. Higa, say hi to Robin. Say hi to Rin. Say hi to Allie.
Rin,
Hello.
Allie. I appreciate the wings.
Thank you.
He's an artist.
Yes.
He has really cool art. It kind of like makes it come to life a little bit. It's really cool.
Okay, but wait. We're getting distracted from the whole point of this text message.
Whole point.
How does Allie communicate with Ares that she is not interested in a
You
rivalry?
just talk to him.
Yeah, have you tried saying, "I do not want to be in a
I
rivalry with
did,
you"?
but like I think I don't know how you get into a rivalry. Rin just starts them automatically by walking down the hallway. So
I don't
know how
start them, I finish them.
You start them and you finish them.
Little bit.
You do both.
We're all in competition. Arguably, we're all in some sort of a rivalry.
All the time.
Okay, yes, but I would rather not like a specific one that he seems to be aiming at, and I just want to be certain that, like, how do I determine that we're not in one, and if we are, how do I extricate myself?
Asking him and then saying, I don't want to do that if he says you are doing that.
See, I feel like I tried that and I don't know if it worked.
You
How
feel
is-
like you tried
I
that.
thought I did.
What do you
How
mean you
much?
think
lunch?
you-
Listen,
Like I said.
Should we ask him?
hey, Aries!
Hello.
Huh?
Oh, catch me!
It stings a little as he grabs your wrist with his talons, but he pulls you up, and the only way he can support you is an embrace. So he's like, yes, as it's like foot, and he's flapping in the air.
Are you in a rivalry with, Allie?
Is that what she said? We have.
That's the impression she's under.
Oh, I wanted. She said she wanted to draw us, so I gave her a drawing club paper.
Oh.
Oh.
No, this is up in the. Isaac has joined.
I'm just floating alongside, like, I see.
Nah, I'm still down.
Oh. Well, you should probably tell her you're not her rival. She's very worried.
I never told her I was her rival.
Well, regardless of what you did or didn't say, that's the impression she's under, and it's making her nervous.
Why doesn't she ask me about it?
She thought she did. Can we just...
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, hold on. And it's like you fall, flap, fall, flap, fall flat. You should probably let yourself down around this point, because
Okay.
I can only land hard.
Just let me go.
Okay, he does.
And light-ish density, but otherwise falling with gravity.
Mm-hmm. And then, like, he lower. It takes him a little bit. But he finally lands.
You!
This is a crowd. Did I cause this? I'm sorry.
No.
I think Rin did. Rin did.
you
Because
talking
she
about?
just does crowds.
Allie challenges you!
What am I being challenged to?
You're not!
Drawing!
I'm being challenged to drawing?
No, you're not!
I mean, we'll have to wait a week for the class, but then sure.
No, that's not.
We could do it now.
No, shush.
He gets like, I can judge.
No,
Or
that's not
participate.
what I
Or,
meant.
well,
Tournament
hold
style
on,
drawing.
there's a drawing club.
Aries, up.
I will
I'm just
I
like gonna
will-
motion him like up.
Yeah, and he flaps up. Now, as he discusses the semantics, well, I'm going to leave baking club and join drawing club. Why
Wait,
didn't I
you're
think
in
of it?
baking club? Pretty much now it's the back and forth between the two of them.
Yep. And so you're in the air with Aries.
Sorry, no, I got maybe confused at lunch when you said that you were jealous, and then I said, well, then pick a thing that you can beat me at, and
You
and
didn't say
see me
pick
at
a thing you
drawing
can
club.
beat me at. I said, are you in any clubs? You said no. I said, what club would you like to be in? You said drawing. Those were the words we shared.
Yes, but before that, I had asked you, like, okay, well, then to get rid of the jealousy and
You understand
such.
that conversations jump to different topics, right?
Yes,
Okay.
sort of. I'm not good at conversations, I'm sorry.
Me neither.
How do you think
But
they're
there's
doing
no
up there?
rivalry, right?
What? No.
Knowing Allie.
Good.
Unless you
okay,
want one.
good. No.
Do you want to?
Probably
Okay.
I
fine.
don't.
Okay.
No, I don't
No,
want
Okay.
the rivalry.
Yeah, no rivalry.
Okay, good.
Probably
That's all.
awkward.
Hey,
Sorry, I made you nervous.
no. Hey, I'm nervous right now. So like, want to go out sometime? I can't get more nervous. I'll fall to the ground. Okay, bye. No, don't! And he doesn't, because this is such an automatic motion that the DM's gonna keep doing.
I'll be honest, I don't know how to respond to that because that's the first time I've been asked that question.
Rin on the ground. I think he's saying, do you want me to take you out? They're gonna fight.
Do you want to judge that then?
Maybe. Allie will
The DM's
be
arms are tired, but imagine I keep flapping because I did it for long enough.
Yeah.
Not now. Maybe.
We'll figure out the details.
A group?
We're probably taking too long. I bet they're judging us. I bet they're
Probably.
imagining what we're saying.
I-
Let's just go down.
And she says that, I think she flies
text?
a lot
I don't
prettier.
know.
than
Yeah,
he
text,
does.
text. I've got a text-to-speech adaptation, so it'll be fine.
Cool.
Yep.
Dropping now. And Allie does the backwards, like, drop.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
accidentally,
Oh, no, she's fine.
he does the same thing. As you guys,
They make a heart in midair.
God damn it.
not quite, not quite.
He's copying her now. Oh, this is the part we're supposed to be judging. We're supposed to
No,
be who.
shut up.
And Higa somehow has procured like a sketch pad and drawn like the two of them, and he's like, what do I title it? Allie Flabetter. The flames of passionate rivalry.
How's the rivalry?
There's no
Passionate.
rivalry. We don't have one. We cleared it up. There is none.
Wait, then why were you up there for so long?
Because
they're
neither of us
awkward.
can converse.
Uh-huh.
I don't do conversations very well. and I
I'm
guess
mad at
neither
him
does he.
too. Ryan chimes in.
Yeah, conversations.
Hi.
Some of us
Hey.
are not good at conversation. Rin, like Ryan and
Who?
Aries and me. Like Ryan
Ah.
and Aries and I, we are not great
Thank you
at
so much
conversation.
for committing to this, my friend.
I refuse to acknowledge him unless someone forces me to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Some of us aren't good at conversing.
What?
So
Are you
it
saying
just takes us
Ryan's not
longer.
good at conversing? That's
I'm not.
rude.
I'm not good at conversing.
He's talking.
Which is
Hey!
which is why we should do other stuff together, so we don't have to worry about coming up with topics.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of maybe like getting people together and go studying.
Oh, cool.
That's usually quiet. I can do that.
Yeah, you guys want to go study?
Should we invite? And Aries is like zooming towards the boys' door. Should we? Okay, I guess he's gonna. Is he feeling
Wow,
well?
he can fly fast.
He can.
You should really go catch him. Invite him.
She just pulls out her phone and pushes the buttons.
The invite Aries button.
She just has like a speed for invite this
Speed
person.
dial.
But
Yep.
Anybody else you may want to bring along since we're over here?
Group text. who wants to study in the library.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it.
Ping, ping, ping.
That's so impersonal. But okay.
You get,
It's
like,
faster though.
Plus, we don't know where anyone is.
is Terrence and Rex throw a yes. Kurt's like, sure, I can supervise.
Wow.
Kurt's like, I don't need this, but okay.
And Rita's like, good opportunity to team build.
Oh my god, she's so corporate.
She said it out loud in a text, but still the point's there.
So nearly everyone makes their way to the library. He gets there too, because he was invited, even though he's in different courses and studying different material.
That's fine.
But it's at least the right environment. We're all sitting around learning.
He'll learn something. We can learn something from him. He can learn something
Oh
from
no!
us.
What he does to help is like, he very quickly and quietly asks a question of everyone, asking about like their favorite candles, and then draws some things and just puts it in the center of the room, and it's very pleasant and fragrant. Bright candles, and there's a sincere source of light from this piece of parchment in the center of the room.
That's so cool.
He's like, thank you, and then leaves. Such is the life of an artist.
Damn!
I have to go be Parisian and smoke in a corner with a sniper won't get him.
Away from all the windows. This is the smoking corner.
Not because it's designated as such, it's just merely the one corner without an open window to the middle balcony.
So, squad is assembled, and very subtly as it's going, like, pieces of paper are passed to you guys that just, it's Terrence and Rex asking, like, anything new?
Rin has honestly
Forgotten.
completely put the event behind her, so she's like, I won a couple of fights. You?
And makes his way back, and that's basically what you get.
And she's looking at him like,
Yeah. Robin writes back the psych info that she got about VRcade and essentially saying in like future encounters with him, appealing to his ego, and that making him think that we want the same things as him will be our easiest way to extricate ourselves from the situation and gain further insight into who he is, ?
Tried to pump the police for information. They downplayed the event, instead trying to increase visibility to draw them out. Pass back.
Okay. And I don't think Allie went and did anything off camera to that extent. So.
No.
Okay. That's totally fair. I'm not judging you for it. I'm just
Her
making
research
sure.
skills are
I was making sure I
We
am
have no
on top of it.
evidence. We
Yeah.
have 0 things to go with right now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys get that notepad. The information that everyone has is now canonically shared.
Rin is sufficiently embarrassed.
Yeah, that's fine. And then the twins, they're not twins, they're a year apart, but the brothers suggest like going and doing some private training. Like making your way into the building labeled R and going into one of the arenas and just duking it out.
Faculty, quote unquote, or question mark?
You just get a shrug from Terrence.
I literally
Or from Rex.
made a club for this. I've produced the situation in which we are allowed to fight each other.
If you're saying this out loud, are you?
Yes! She's like, I've produced the perfect environment for this.
The room goes dead silent for a second as Rex just closes his fist and writes you a note as you keep.
Yeah, she's like,
And it says, I'm obviously trying to get us somewhere more private. I'm not actually trying to get us to fight.
and then she
And then he just uncurls his hand.
just kind of just like,
There's always tomorrow's club, Rin.
I know, but
You got your hopes up.
I thought I got 2 in one day. I saw smoothies from the field trip today, and I didn't burn through them. Otherwise, they're gonna go bad. Probably. I don't know what they're doing.
You can use them tonight instead of the food your mom sent.
Why would I deny my mother's cooking?
Because then you'll have even more stored up for the next day. You're not denying it, you're postponing it.
What'd your mom make?
Kurt taps you on the shoulder.
Huh?
Passing notes?
Yes.
May I?
Pass a note.
Read.
But it wasn't for you.
We're studying, so there's lots of reading happening.
Fair.
And then she passes the first note that says, I did a bunch of fights. What did you do?
I discovered that a couple other students were going where they weren't supposed to. And he folds it up.
Where?
The security office, stealing footage.
Neat.
Ugh.
Anything interesting?
And his eyes dart to Rex and back to you.
And then Rin just... What?
You're not the mastermind. And
What's that supposed to mean?
he's like, who else is in on this?
And on this note? You now.
Not talking about the fighting, Miss
Terrence
Nora.
handed it to me.
I know you're smarter than you're pretending to be.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never once pretended to be intelligent.
I'm trying to assume
Uh-huh.
that you are trying to put me on the wrong trail here.
As opposed to?
I know. Allie, you're in on this, aren't you?
No,
And-
I didn't hand her the note.
And
Do you-
the
what did
room
you
goes
do
dead
today?
silent. As Rex, gets up, puts a hand on Kurt's shoulder, and walks him out of the room.
Dang!
Wait, are you guys gonna fight? I want to see if you're gonna fight.
You can judge.
We're in a library, Ren. Keep your
And
voice down.
the room, these were all relatively hushed tones, but Rex obviously has really good hearing.
Mm-hmm.
He has to, because his power is manipulation of sound. And then Terrence kind of ushers other people out of the room you're studying in, like Ryan and.
Oh God, Ryan, when did you get...
I love you. Basically, anyone that isn't part of the conspiracy that's going on in the student body council, and he.
Well, I had better go.
No. And they're kind of escorted out as Kurt is then brought back in.
Okay.
With obviously Rex, and Rex just stands by the door and just keeps one fist closed on the other side of the door. And he's like, "So we're talking about this in public, Kurt. I thought you were smart." And Kurt's like, "I am smart. I'm trying to unravel a conspiracy my students are playing before me.
Your students?
Fellow students,
What?
please. I know I'm smart. I'm not that arrogant.
Prove me wrong.
I don't have to. I'm confident in myself. Now,
I'm so confused.
I've designed a good lot of the security this school is using, and so I have access to the information that tapes were stolen. I'm aware that Rex is the one who did it, because that too is recorded.
Huh.
I'm aware that Rex then made his way to the back of the campus, where I have seen all of you actively disappearing in the same location. Now, I think you're all part of something, and the school has currently had at least 2 security breaches, so what are you doing?
Did you ask Rex?
I'm asking all of you now. What are you doing? And Rex speaks up. I wanted to know what happened. When? What do you mean what happened? And he relays the things that have happened so far, so Thomas doesn't have to tell the story to himself. That's
We're trying to better understand it so we can protect each other.
And also figure out why a villain that's been dead for a good number of years is somehow making a resurgence.
That's obviously not him.
Exactly.
No, if he's been dead for 20 years, it's probably a copycat of some kind.
I thought he just came back to life.
I mean,
That would still involve
theoretically
another
that
villain.
is true, but there has to be at least one other villain involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that there was the one in the exam, and that power set seems entirely different, so that's at least 2 villains turned our way. If not 3, because there have to be 2 involved with the arcade. So there's at least 3 villains looking at the student body. You understand why I am a little adamant about the security measures.
Where
Or at
did
least
the
trying to be.
number 3 from?
The arcade had to be at least 2.
Why?
Either it is someone resurrected, the old V arcade, or it is the... Well, it doesn't have to be at least 2. Because resurrection is foolish as a notion.
If he has all the powers of a video game, coming back to life in a video game happens all the time.
True. Perhaps that is his powers, all of the powers in a video game. We don't know. There's at least 2 villains, then, looking at us. I doubt it's the same one doing both, unless they have a very broad scope power. But I am concerned, and I had seen all of you up to suspicious activity. That is why I brought this forward.
Are you head of campus security now?
I'm not head of campus security, but I'm worried about my faculty and classmates. I'm worried about the safety of this school.
As are we.
Yes, I'm aware of that now. I wasn't. I hadn't spoken to you all.
Are we not allowed to be concerned for our personal safety above that of the school?
Absolutely you
Considering we were quite literally kidnapped.
are. Absolutely you are. This is news to me, by the way.
So you're head of security, but you didn't know you were kidnapped.
I never said I was head of security. I said I designed security patents that are being used on campus.
See, what you do is you go to them, and then they tell you the information you want to know.
Now that you've heard the story, what do you think now?
I have no reason to disbelieve any of you. And as far as I can tell, you're genuine. So what do we do? Well, presuming his powers are something that we should be aware of and ready for, I can run tests, if you'd like.
Well, I mean, we take a lot of tests.
No, but I mean, I could probably get us into the R building, get us down to some of the training grounds, and simulate the environment.
Well, I'm confused how that benefits us.
If
Further practice dealing with a similar situation.
how to tell if it's a simulation, how to get out of a simulation if we don't.
I think as far as I can manufacture right now is I can program the combat bots they haven't been using to recreate certain things.
And are we gonna get in trouble for that? Can we just ask and get access to those things?
Why would we have to ask?
They're
Because-
part of the resources we have available to
Well,
us.
no, you misunderstand.
Oh.
This is where I will have some hubris. This is my tech. I can get us there without being seen.
Namely, my question is, why do we have to do everything under behind closed doors?
We don't.
Can we just say, hey, we want to go train, or just make a club for it, and then
I
go do it?
Have made a club for it.
We could just do it in plain
You
sight.
have. That's it. We use that club. Well, I don't want to deny you your other clubs. I think extracurriculars are important, and if we all have to be bound to that club, then no one else can be a part of any other club.
You can be as part as many as you want.
It's a dangerous
How is it dangerous?
appropriation of time. You don't learn as much when you're darting between them, but that is up to you to make that choice, Mr. Tonu. Very well. I'll sign up for that and petition the architect to potentially allow some use of his resources. Yeah. We can have a little more dynamic combat tests.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to that.
I'm just gonna nod a bunch.
Sure. If that's your contribution, then.
Basically, we get to fight cooler stuff.
More than just each other.
The students are all super cool. I'm confused.
Yes, we are, but the villains are not the students, as far as I can tell. They still could be, security breaches and such. Yes.
I'm going to admit a little bit of ignorance.
Ask. If we do not admit our ignorance, we do not learn.
I am aware of reality checks for dreams. I do not know how to reality check for a simulation.
Yeah, because I punched myself right in the face and nothing broke.
No,
Except my eye socket. But I think I know.
simulations are code. Code follows laws and rules. If you understand the code, you can break out of it. However, if that code doesn't want you getting out, odds are you aren't going to be able to. I will not be running tests to escape simulations. I will be running tests so you can effectively test against the
sort of AI we'd be encountering.
sort of like that. It's not guaranteed to be technology. It could be the result of someone's power. It could have absolutely just been reality manipulation. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't invited.
We were all invited.
Check again. Kurt's name is off the group text. Like, that one in particular, he was not invited to.
Yikes. Big yikes.
Well, that makes sense. If it was a villain bringing us in, they wouldn't want to bring the one technologically savvy person.
That makes so much more sense.
Thank you for coming to that conclusion without me pointing it out. Yes. It was maybe a simulation. Otherwise,
Maybe.
well, them excluding me is the evidence. I'm talking computer simulation. Technology. If I were present, I probably could have undone something.
So then, in a simulation, if it is all based in code, the objective then is to find a way to break the code.
Theoretically, but with me present, that's easy. I repurpose things. I just take the code out of the air. Write it however I want.
Mm-hmm.
Do that?
I can.
Huh.
I just wanted to figure out if you were the threat, and if so, I would have neutralized it. But you are not, so.
Welcome.
Welcome to the conspiracy.
Is that what we're calling it?
Neutralized.
Yes.
We just call it the club.
So you are the head of campus security.
Cabal?
No.
No.
Cabal.
I'm taking initiative.
Oh, you're a vigilante.
Is it a type of
Aren't
sport?
you?
It's a group of people engaged
Am I?
in
Isn't that what you all did? Use your powers off campus?
When did I
inside
do that?
dealings.
When you were captured.
No, I did them inside of a simulation.
You don't know if it was a simulation, Ren.
I'm pretty sure it was a simulation.
The heartbeat sounded simulated one way or the next. They weren't real.
My point being, calling me a vigilante is in no way an insult, just as calling you a hero is in no way a compliment.
Why not?
I'm now just more confused.
You accused me of being a vigilante, Rin,
No, I stated that you are a vigilante.
in an accusatory tone.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, you accused me.
Semantically, I suppose.
Literally, I implore. But, this is a sidebar conversation that's taking the main stage now.
Well, I mean, what is the main stage? We're all talking in circles around here. We're saying there's a guy with a power, and we're all acknowledging that he has a power, and then we're all acknowledging that we don't know what his power is, and then we're saying maybe he's in a simulation. Then we're saying let's figure out how to get out of the simulation. Then we say we don't know it's a simulation. Then we say maybe there's a guy with a power. All that I know is there's a guy who kidnapped me, and I couldn't punch him in the head.
And all I'm trying to offer is an opportunity to test combat skills beyond what your fellow students
And you're doing
can.
it very vaguely.
I have been pretty transparent.
It's clear.
Again, all I know is there's technology. And quite possibly, if you were there, it would have been different. All that I'm hearing is some man-bat descriptions happening. And all I'm asking for is a very explicit, what are you doing? Because the very explicit, what I'm doing, is if we have mission goal statements here, I'm looking forward to punching a guy in the head.
I will lay out then the two plans that we have discussed. One, we utilize your already founded super martial arts club, and I use my connections with the architect. So
Mixed martial arts.
Mixed martial arts club, and I use my connections with the architect and the good favor I've accrued with him. We open up and expand the resources present to us, so that the tests and fights that are undergone are against a wider variety of opponents, and we are better prepared. Option 2 was all of that, but behind the faculty's back.
Okay, so our big strong plan is we learn how to fight good.
Yeah.
We have realized and recognized we cannot make any headway otherwise with our current knowledge.
So yes, we learn how to fight real good, which is what we were here for anyway. Win-win. Looking forward to working with you. I'm more so than just obstacle courses. That was pretty fun too.
Okay.
Unless you have a particular way you're planning on drawing this villain out.
I've already told you my plan. Punch him in the head.
You need to have him in front of you first.
Yeah, and then I punch him in the head
How do you get him in front of you,
when he
Ren?
walks in front of me.
Fine.
When did I ever say I had a plan? What's your plan?
Thankfully, we're not going about this alone.
No, and the point here wasn't to come up with a plan, so I'm glad we have something. The point, as I have stated, I came here to make sure that this group was not the reason for the security breach.
Yeah, because you're the head of campus security.
I'm not the head of campus security.
You insist.
Don't worry, she's very dense.
Yeah, so's my fist when he hits you in the head.
If you can reach me.
Lovely.
I have long arms.
Good try.
Join Fight Club.
What are we whispering for?
I'm planning?
I think they're threatening each other under their breaths.
Oh, let me do it out loud. I'm gonna punch you in the head.
I'm gonna make sure you can't fucking reach me.
Good
She
luck.
did it once in the simulation. She did
I'm
very much try to.
looking forward to Mixed Martial Arts Club. Will you get the chance to test out each other's skills? And we'll all get to test out each other's skills and grow together. Because that's what we're here for, aren't we, Kurt?
Yes,
That's what we're here for.
to become better.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So the plan is to continue doing what we're already doing.
But better
With
this time.
additional resources at our disposal, stop diminishing the steps we take, even if they're small.
It's
they're
just
steps.
so fun to get you wound up. It's pretty easy too.
Yes.
So tell me about your jetpack.
What about it?
Anything.
Okay. Would you like to try it?
No.
Okay. What I can tell you about it, it lets me fly.
Okay. Is that it?
That's all I feel like telling you.
Okay, so it doesn't do anything other than that.
It needs more maneuverability, but it's pretty.
Oh, so it's not
pretty
even
solid.
good?
How
It's
fast?
not that's not good. Just I don't know about loop-de-loops yet.
He can't even do a loop-de-loop? That's easy. I can do a loop-de-loop.
Only if you explode your legs and then you have to sit there for a long time waiting for them to grow back.
60 seconds is not a long time.
Yes, it is.
That depends.
Kurt has left the room.
Thank God. Every time he talks, I get confused.
Saying
Rex
60
is like,
seconds.
he gives me a headache too. Rex, who's still been at the door, keeping sound from coming out.
Yeah. He mostly just makes me mad.
I mean, he thinks he's better than us.
No. He knows
Only
he's
in
better than us.
some areas.
He's scientifically proved it, I'm sure.
In his mind, at least.
There's some kind of a hydrogen solution or something.
It's tech.
And little brother speaks up. I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of ego, but which one of us doesn't?
Yeah, but I mean, I hide it.
No, you
No,
don't.
you don't.
I'm aware.
And you don't, and
I have no ego.
actually, you're like maybe one of the few who doesn't have a big ego in this room, especially. I mean, my brother is proud of what he's done, and I'm proud of my accomplishments too. Even if I'm awkward about talking about them, like I still have that ego when I talk about them.
Mhm.
His ego's just really big.
Kurtz?
Yeah,
What about him?
his ego's really big.
Is it?
I think we all need to like try and work together better. We're all at each other's throats, and that's not helping anyone.
Well, it's because there's nothing to really work on right now.
I mean, all he was saying was like he's willing to help.
Well,
with
all he was
whatever.
doing was he was marching in and saying, I'm better than you, I'm smarter than you, I figured out your plan, tell me your plan. And then we told him our plan, and he said, let me take control of this plan, let me become the new ringleader. And we don't really have a ringleader, because the plan right now is continue doing what we're already doing. But then he was like, let me offer up my stupendous, phenomenal resources, and completely disregard the information of a classically trained mixed martial artist with a father who is a professional hero who can teach us how to throw a punch. No, none of that's important. He has a robot.
I mean, I think your frustrations are valid, Rin.
I'm ready to punch him in the head.
Then,
I'd like to see him make a robot to stop that.
I mean, he's got to be at the club too, so you might get the opportunity to.
I'm looking forward to it. I just have to pick who to punch in the head first.
Him?
Maybe. I want to punch that molten lava guy.
Just a molten lava guy?
Molten lava guy.
What?
Super cool. I completely forget his name. Greg.
Gunter.
Greg.
Grant. Gustav. It starts with a G.
Okay.
He's got molten lava hands. He didn't say a lot because I punched him very, very quickly.
Was he at club today?
Robin's left.
Which,
Yeah, Robin's left.
Which blur was he?
The large one.
Large
I'm
blur.
going to send Kurt
Boxing gloves.
a text that just says, I didn't mean to sound like I was dissing your jetpack. It was pretty solid and really cool. I'm sorry.
He responds with a very curt
Uh-huh.
response. You didn't diss my jetpack. Rin doesn't understand it.
Oh no, she understands it.
I mean, neither do I, but Rin likes to wind people up
you
because
just get
it
the
works
response.
really well.
You get the response. At least you try.
Rin just likes to
Pobrecito.
get people wound up because it's a good fight tactic. It's what she defaults to.
Followed by, and this is, you can read genuineness. Why would I want to fight Rin?
It's not about if you want to fight her, she wants to fight everyone.
Followed by a very genuine, was I rude?
And then Rin's been reading over the shoulder at this point, and she's reaching towards the yes button, just like
The button for yes.
it's on the autocorrect.
Yeah.
The autocomplete.
No,
One's yes,
no,
one's
no.
no, one's maybe. She's like,
Nope. Close the phone.
You
No.
have a flip phone?
Dude, of course she does. It buzzes.
Did you have that custom made?
Yep, sure. And it just says, "Not my fault."
We'll share blame here. Equal blame here. 50-50.
I think everyone's a little tense and everyone was a little rude, including me.
And again, he says, "Other people's emotions are not my responsibility.
Wow.
Not my fault."
What a bastard.
Yep. Kurt kind of is. When you said you were crushing on him in the early game, I was like, ooh.
It's because he was so cute
He's a
when
bad
he put
boy.
the pictures out.
He's a techie bad boy.
Yeah.
He was so... He still
also
is.
Oh no, he's still a... Like, as far as character art goes, I designed him to be, like, immediately people are going to be drawn to him.
He's just really
my
cute.
fist
But
is
you're right. I don't think I have a crush on him anymore, but he's just so cute.
You're not going to pursue that path, but you're going to aesthetically appreciate it.
Yes. Yes.
You appreciate someone put the time in.
How fast does that jetpack go?
I mean,
Compared
you
to
could
terminal velocity.
you could go ask him.
Yeah. I wanted to do it when I was here, but then Mama Chonk was going after
Okay,
things.
so you did
I thought you were talking about me for a second.
Mama Chonk.
It took me a second to remember that's what the cat is called. I was like, wow. I was riling him up. That's one thing, but damn.
Look,
Ruben does
0% body fat. But you follow him out, and he puts his phone away, having finished texting, and literally scraps his phone into a strap for his jetpack.
Dang.
How fast does that go?
Currently, as fast as I can safely pilot.
How fast can you safely pilot?
Probably, I don't know, I could get to the other side of the campus in 20, 30 seconds.
So slow.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not fast.
Okay.
He's a chump.
Could you make it go faster if you had a more experienced pilot?
Maybe. Would you like to give it a try, Isaac?
I kind of do.
Okay, we'll work with the basics first, and he straps it on, and he walks you through the controls. It's very intuitive. And then after you understand the basics of how to basically on-off it, which is literally it. It's on-off, and then a safety shoot.
Mm-hmm.
He is like, and now you wanted the modifications?
Modifications?
You wanted to see if it could go faster if you had a more experienced pilot.
Yeah.
Well, you move in the z-axis consistently, so, and you feel a little less weight, and then it slims down, and a little more weight at the bottom. And he's like,
Now, do you want me to
"That
help?
should do it."
Do you want me to help this along, or do you want me to keep the axis of gravity on the same thing so you can test out this?
1 and then 2.
Okay. So
And he's already got like a digital notebook pulled up.
no assist first, or
Mhm.
assist first.
No assist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a jetpack. It has approximately a speed of speed rank 3 currently.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
250 around.
I can only barely outrun that.
For a jetpack, that's it is a little unstable though in its direction, like because there's so much exhaust coming from it. It's literally just chemical burning. So
Why is he getting the chemicals? I'm just having court moments.
What?
Same place Noriko got hers. Keep moving.
oh, you said where does he get the chemicals?
Yeah, I was like, where did they come from?
Gasoline plus ignition plus future chemicals.
Okay, I was like, this is future gasoline.
Future
It
gasoline.
pulls hydrogen out of the air. Keep going.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
future
probably-
handwave.
Hydrogen
I
fuel
told
cells.
you, all tech in this world, future. That's the explanation.
Future.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, sorry, that was the wrong body motion. Future.
So yeah, I just wanted to see if help him run his experiment,
Yeah, you do.
but it is not nearly as thrill-seeking
As Isaac wanted.
as I'd hoped.
But the thing is, he's like, maybe I have to do a different schematic, so I have to go back to my room with some materials and figure it out. But,
Do you want a hand?
well,
Testing, of course.
no, testing, you would be the perfect subject, because if it ever got too dangerous, you could just reverse gravity so that the jetpack was working against that. As long as my jetpack wasn't accelerating faster than gravity, which it already is.
And mostly if it starts going out of control, just to...
You can hamper it.
Yeah.
You have a power that is directly related to that. It is influential.
He's gonna blow Isaac up.
And he points at the jetpack you're wearing. That, and he puts a hand on the strap and deconstructs the strap at a time real quick and catches the jetpack and basically turns it into a very hyperdense cube and puts it back in his pocket. That will require me, like I said, a new schematic. This bundle here doesn't have what I need for the ideas I have. Thank you, Isaac. You were very courteous and receptive of what I was saying,
You were saying right things.
even if I said them wrong.
Half of the campus here is bad at communication.
Yes. I personally think it comes from many of us having a sense of elitism before the school. And many people, when they come here, realize that their ego is unjustified.
Can't relate.
They're confronted with the fact that they are not on the top of the theoretical pecking order they were before. They are just in a group of people similar to them. They no longer have that position of power.
Too many people think this is a mountain that has only room for one at the top. As
I agree.
opposed to a plateau where we all can stand together.
I agree. I would like to help as many people up that mountain as I can.
Yeah, but only while he's standing very firmly on the top.
Help. You're going to be there with us. All of us together.
Yes.
That's the point.
Yes, you keep saying that, Isaac. And I'm certain people appreciate it.
But not you.
I do not think I am a hero, and I do not think I will be a hero.
What are you going to be?
I think my tech will innovate and inspire and change the way heroes act and work and the world as a whole. But personally...
For the better or for the worse?
For the better.
So
of
why
course.
don't you think you're a hero?
Because ultimately, when it boils down to it, I'm a terrible person.
But you want to make the world better
Yes.
with the technology
Yes.
that you create.
The technology doesn't have my personality. I'm aware that I'm bad at it. I'm bad at the public side of things. I'm bad at talking to people and presenting kindly. I present things factually, and people don't like that. They can't disagree with a fact.
Mm-hmm. Get back to the part where you said there's nothing heroic about that you don't think that you're going to be a hero.
I do not want to be recognized as a person. I want to be recognized as a name. I do not want people to look up to Kurt D. Howitzer III. I want Howitzer Technology to be the forerunner in hero support.
So you just don't want to be a celebrity about it.
No, not in the slightest. I think I'm a terrible example. I should not be leading.
You can still be a hero. You just
I
don't
think
have
my
to be
role
a
would more
celebrity.
traditionally be called sidekick.
Maybe agree to disagree.
For now. You will succumb.
To what?
The truth.
The
Noxious
truth is
miasma.
that you can't be a hero?
I do not have the charisma for it.
What is your definition of hero?
Someone who is not only admirable in their methods and rescue and protection and ad nauseum of the people and civilians and other supers, but exemplary in personality.
And so you think that someone maybe isn't as good at public relation can't be a hero?
I didn't say is good at public relation. I said a bad person, Isaac.
Bad personality.
Yes.
Bad personality doesn't make you a bad person.
Others would have me believe that is not the case. And as much as I argue facts, emotions are uncontrollable.
True. I'm asking you to believe someone different. My definition of hero is someone who puts the needs of everybody else above their own. And if you're trying to make everybody else better, that sounds like a hero to me. Believe what you want. I know what I believe.
We'll run tests another day, Isaac.
Let me know how I can help.
Thank you. And he turns away and throws the cube down into a pair of, like, jet skates. Steps into him.
What a nerd.
And, like, wheelies out.
Those wheelie seekers.
Yep. But with jets.
Sort of fucking Heelys out of here. And 100% out the path for a brief moment of levity. Rin is walking alongside Terrence. She's like, so, can you make a snow cone?
I totally can. Do you want one?
Yes.
Okay, it won't taste like anything but snow.
Okay.
Okay, do you have a cone? Okay.
He makes a snowball.
Yeah, there's a snowball on your hand. It's just water. Has no flavor.
That's sick.
Yeah, I think down the line, actually, that would be a really cool thing, like, to just have, not as, like, part of my big hero identity, but, like, imagine you save someone and then hand him a snow cone. I want to carry syrup.
Respect.
Smoothie.
Ew. It doesn't sink into the snow. It like, glazes
glorbs.
it. Yeah, it glorbs over it.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
No, that's your public relations side of things. When like you
Exactly.
presentations at schools.
Yeah.
That's no comment.
You save a kid, and then you're like, hey, hold this. And he's like, what's the matter? And then, bam, he has a snow cone.
I think that's a great idea, and I'm gonna do it.
Yes.
Let's keep
I
pushing
will
each other up.
practice. I'll taste test all of your snow cone recipes
Sure. It's recipes?
for the flavors.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just gonna buy those.
Oh.
I'm not I mean, I like cooking, but not baking.
Aren't you in cooking club?
Yeah, but, like, syrup is, like, more in the line of baking. It's...
Okay.
Confection.
I can learn it. I can learn.
Yeah, you can make
Yeah.
Terrence branded flavors.
I'm not gonna call them Terrence branded flavors because that's a terrible... I'll name them after whatever my hero name is.
Tear ice.
Speaking of heroes, who's your favorite?
Oh, that's tough because there was a cycle where lunar eclipse could manipulate not like ice but the condensation in the air, and I thought that was really cool because then I got to see like the world's biggest hero using ice related powers for a little bit, and wow, what an inspiration. But
Go on.
I don't know.
Continue.
It's kind of shitty, but before they were a villain, I really liked Magnum.
I don't know anything about Magnum.
I mean, we saw them interviewed.
Yeah. He's not from Japan.
Oh, yeah. Magnum's arm is a cannon.
Which one? Oh, the one.
Yeah,
Ah.
Magnum's arm is a cannon. And, I mean, they weren't always a villain. They used to be really heroic before, I don't know. I think they just got disgruntled about it all. But I really liked watching them. I mean, they had a power that seemed really niche and did so much cool stuff with it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's kind of how I feel about mine. Like, people are like, oh, snow manipulation, what can you do? But then I use my snowboard and people are like, whoa, that's so cool. Ha, jokes.
Wait, people are saying, what can you do with snow manipulation?
Snow creation. It's not manipulation of, it's creation of. Yeah, I know.
Terrence.
No, believe me, I'm aware of what I can do.
No. One second. My power is I eat bread fast. I have very fast bread eating capabilities.
Uh-huh.
And your power is literal manipulation of the physical realm that we exist within.
Yeah?
Don't let people talk down to you because they're just being shitty and jealous.
I mean, my brother calls me a doormat.
You are one.
Yeah, I am.
And admittedly, that doormat says welcome.
Yeah, it does.
But let's graduate to the door.
Ooh, I don't understand this metaphor.
I don't either, but it made so much sense to me.
I think you're saying instead of, like, welcoming everyone, I should be on a hinge?
No.
And, like, only let in certain people?
No.
And no one walks on a door?
That's the part I'm talking about.
So, be anything that isn't walked on.
Not necessarily. You could be a
Isaac,
bridge.
Isaac can walk on doors.
Oh, Isaac doesn't count.
Isaac
Isaac can walk on anything.
Isaac's opinion counts.
I never said anything about Isaac's opinion.
I thought we were talking in the metaphorical sense.
Yeah, but not the opinionated sense. Okay, let me start over. Let me
I
start
don't
at
like
square
metaphor.
one. Okay, so right now, and then Rin basically like draws a diagram. She's like, right now you are a doormat.
Yeah.
And what we were trying to graduate you to is something that people cannot walk on, but they must shake hands with.
You shake hands with doors?
With the doorknob.
That's not how you open
That's a handshake.
No.
And the metaphor
Rin,
only goes
Rin,
further
Rin,
south.
Rin, give me your hands.
And
Give me
she's
your
like,
hands.
yeah, doorknob.
No. He freezes your hand in place. This is a handshake.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is the most wretched feeling in my life.
Burn it off.
I can't.
I can't either.
Oh no. Then with the other hand, she's like, you did this to yourself,
No.
Terrence.
As eventually your powers kind of neutralize each other. But
Just like,
you cannot activate your power under extreme cold, and he can't activate his under extreme heat.
I wouldn't be hot if he was touching me.
And he
He
like,
would just be frozen.
you
there.
two neutralize each other's powers. So
Oh,
it's like
God.
it's a neutralize, like the powers escalate and then stop. So you are literally stuck.
We're just
like that.
normal people until the ice melts.
Yep.
This sucks.
Yep.
So from that point, Rin's like, well, I think we're done studying.
Yeah, I think that ended a while ago. I mean, we're not even in the library anymore.
Oh my god, we're
Yeah,
not.
everyone sort of disbanded.
Yep.
I think.
Oh my god, it's just us. Do you like ice cream?
I do.
Let's go get ice cream.
Okay.
Cross
Drags him backwards.
As you and Terrence head into the city to get some ice cream.
hand in hand.
I have no
They
choice.
have no choice. And that's a cute little button to end on, unless anyone else had anything they wanted to do, is getting on to a little after 10, and this is around usually when we call it.
As you said, that's a good button to
Yeah.
end on.
Yeah, just
Cute.
let's go get ice cream. I mean, we don't have a choice. I'm getting ice cream.
I'm getting ice cream. If you want ice cream, we'll be there.
Okay. So thank you everyone for listening in, past, present, or future. If you're in the past, that's weird and cool. You're clairvoyant. And if you're in the future, then you came to the right place. This is a show about superheroes. We appreciate you coming to the table. We hope you had a lot of fun. We will be back next week, but we will be taking a break as we approach Christmas. That is in our bio, I think. So thank you for stopping by at FlavorText. Welcome to the table, and have a nice night.
Bye.